ready?
Lucky Chloe is a high-risk, high-reward character with a wild playstyle that can throw the opponent off guard easily. She has some decent pokes, very high damage with little execution, however, falls short in terms of safe but effective moves with punishers. She has a weak grab game, and she relies a lot on gimmicks. First, let's start off with the pros. She has absurdly strong damage, good pokes, great jab strings, and the element of surprise. So, what is the element of surprise? If the opponent doesn't know the matchup to a high degree, Chloe can terrorize the opponent. If they are well trained in the matchup, however, it's extremely hard to get ahead.
Are you looking at me? Swim around in a circle. I'm alive when it's beating.
As for the cons, her cons heavily weigh her down. She is a very unsafe character, her punishment is underwhelming, she has no fast counter hit tool, she has no strong abusable lows, she has mediocre range and a lack of a whiff punish, and she also relies too much on gimmicks. If the opponent is aware about the gimmicks that Chloe can dish out, then there's really not much the character can do. It's always the information battle that Chloe fights. If her opponent knows enough information to fight her, then she's going to have a very, very hard time.
When I see you tomorrow, will you remember this song? As the rain came down my window, I heard the wind blow.
1-2 is a decent 10-frame punish that is high mid. This is a safe string that is very useful outside of punishment. Poke with this a lot. 2-2 is a decent 12-frame punish. It's high and unsafe, so you would never really use this outside of punishment. It has good range. Also, be careful. This is not a jailing string. Down forward 3-3. It doesn't do much damage, only one more damage more than her 12-frame. However, this does wall splat. This is also used in combos for tailspin. This is not safe on block. Up forward 3, down forward 2, and up forward 4. Since Season 2 nerfed up forward 3's damage, there is no reason to use it over down forward 2. Up forward 4 also exists. These are all unsafe on block, up forward 3 being launch punishable. While standing 4. This is a pretty standard 11-frame wall standing punish. It's quick, does a little chunk of damage, and gives you nice frame advantage on hit. It's also safe. While standing 1-4. Unfortunately, Chloe does not have a 13-frame wall standing punish. This is a big blow to her wall standing punishment game. However, it's great to have a 14-frame wall standing launcher. Beware using it outside of punishment, it is launch punishable. Wall standing 2, up forward 3, and up forward 4. Chloe can do wall standing 2 out of full crouch. Same properties apply as regular down forward 2, however it does more damage. You can also hop kick. If you were to block a heavy sweep that's really negative on block, you can also do full crouch down forward 4, which is not listed below. Alright everybody, welcome to my core moves or main moves section of the guide. I'm going to go off script here and I am going to try and basically elaborate on every single move that I think that she has that's useful, even the ones that aren't too useful, and I'm going to tell you how you should use these moves and how useful they are, etc, etc. And we're going to break down each move. We're basically going to break down the character. No script here, I'm just going to go off my wrinkly brain, and it should be quite a long, this is going to be a long video because this is probably going to take a good, maybe an hour, roughly, right? So, we're in it for the long haul, boys. You want to learn Chloe? You've come to the right place. Alright, so, every Chloe player needs to have these things down that I'm about to let you know. If you want to learn this character, you need to learn these things, okay? And the first thing is jab strings. This is the most basic, like this is basically this character's bread and butter. Like knowing how to use these things, these basic tools are like, am I saying that right? These basic tools? Am I tripping? Is that the correct way to say that? These basic tools. Anyways, you need to learn how to use these basic tools, which is 1, 2, 1 plus 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1. These are super mundane, but they are pretty much her core. It's part of her core mechanic, these jab strings, and I'm going to let you know why. So 1, 2, let's check this 1, 2 out by itself. Plus 7, on block, minus 4. So, I mean, at first glance, it's like, it's not that good, right? Very good. This is very good string. 1, 2 is minus 4, but if you look, high mid. High mid is so good for something like this. Most characters, if not all characters, that's high high. You know, you can just duck that. Not everybody's gonna duck that, but it's high high. So there's always that factor. This is high mid. You cannot duck that. That's a mid. That's really good. That's really good. Really good. You can't sidestep this too fast. You can't down jab. It's just really good, right? Now, there are a lot of things that I need to talk about with this. So it has 3 extensions. 1, 2, 1 plus 2, 1, 2, 2, and 1, 2, 1. Now, we're going to start off talking about 1, 2, 1 plus 2. Now, to really understand why these 3 enders are so important, I need to talk about one, and then another one, and then the last one, and then it'll all make sense in the end. Because they kind of cover each other, and they cover their weaknesses. They're kind of like a mix-up in their own right. So, I know a lot of Chloe players you see online, you're going to see them use this all day. You probably played Chloe's online. They hit this so much, like they just straight up spam this all day and hopkick after, you know, do some crazy stuff, right? Like, this, ironically, should not be used at all that much. It should be used very sparingly, but online you see them use it all day, 24/7, right? It should not be used that much because it's high. You can duck it. So why would you want to use it so much, right? So let me show you the proper way to use these strings, okay? So pretty much the game plan with 1, 2 is you want to use 1, 2 by itself. So you want to condition your opponent into being, okay, I'm going to block this 1, 2. What's it going to do after? That's what you need to think, right? Maybe I could do 1, 2. He blocks it, back off. I hit 1, 2. It, you know, lands on hit. I'm like, what, plus 7 now? Let me establish more offense. Let me go for a down forward 1 or low or something. I don't know. But pretty much, you want to establish your game off 1, 2. 1, 2, on block, back up, whatever. If they want to hit a linear button, you can do a sidestep 4. You can do a sidestep, you know, whiff punish. You can do whatever, you know, armor move, I guess. But pretty much, the reason these enders are here is to deter your opponent and make them think about what to do after this 1, 2. If they know, if they are aware, right? If they aren't aware, then, you know, information is your greatest friend, right? You need to know this stuff. So 1, 2, 1 plus 2 is high high. It is minus 2, and it does jail, so you can't duck that second high, which is, you know, it's whatever. It's really fast anyways. I really doubt you could duck that on reaction. But 1, 2, 1 plus 2, what is the purpose of this? Okay, so basically 1, 2, 1 plus 2 is a tracking high. This tracks. If your opponent wants to sidestep after a 1, 2, this will catch them sidestepping. If your opponent wants to down jab, this will catch them down jabbing. They cannot hit a button after 1, 2. If you hit 1, 2, 1 plus 2, if they hit any button, they will get exploded. Oops. They will get exploded. Because counter hit 1 plus 2, I try to do a down jab, I got counter hit. It is a launcher. See that? Pretty beefy, I know. But it is high, so you can duck it. But the main reason to use this is if they want to hit a button or if they want to sidestep. So if you see your opponent after conditioning them with this, they see that they want to do one of those 2 things, then you know what move you need to use. 1, 2, 1 plus 2. That is the purpose of this move. It's not just to use it 24/7, because yes, it does give a counter hit combo, but that's not the purpose, you know. And no, it's not plus 13 on hit. I don't know why that says that. That's not really possible, because then that would be a natural. But anyways, it's very plus. It's like plus, I don't know, but it's not 13. And it's only -2, so this is a really abusable string if your opponent does not know about the highs, but just know that that is the purpose of the string. Okay? Okay. So now let's talk about, this is going to make, all of it's going to make more sense when I talk about every part of the jab string. So 1-2-1. 1-2-1 is -11. It is not safe. However, it is a on normal hit. Boom. Wall splat. They get launched in the air mid. Pretty good at the wall. This cannot be sidestep. This cannot be down jab. So same principles apply where they can't. If they hit a button, 1-2-1, they're gonna get hit by this. I wish this was a wall splat move. It would make way more sense. I don't know why this is not a wall splat move instead of this, which I guess is okay. But this would make so much more sense if this was a wall splat move. It's so perfect for it. But you know, whatever. I don't make the game, right? I don't develop it, so whatever. Anyways, the main purpose for this is if they are at the wall. So if you are hitting them with a lot of 1-2s, boom, all of a sudden you bring out a 1-2-1, you're going to get that juicy wall splat. The interesting thing about this string is that it can actually be delayed by about 2 frames. Or 3. 2 or 3. You can delay it, barely. You cannot delay this, and you cannot delay the other part of the string, which I'll talk about. 1-2-1 can barely be delayed. But yeah, mainly you're going to use this at the wall. The weakness to this is that it's -11. So, I mean, if you just throw it out all day, you're going to get punished. Like, you know, that's the bottom line. It can be sidestepped if you delay it, and it can be down jab, of course, if you delay it because they have time to do a down jab. But mainly, you want to use this near the wall, and that's what my recommendation would be. But do you see how kind of these? Well, when I talk about this third part of the string, it'll all make sense. So now you have 1-2-2. This is a safe mid. This is -4. New addition in Season 2. This now puts Chloe in full crouch, which is pretty juicy, I'm not going to lie. It's very much appreciated. Very, very cool. Very cool addition. But we'll talk about the string by itself, right? So 1-2-2, safe mid. However, this can be sidestepped both ways, and this can be down jabbed. Excuse me. This can be down jabbed. -4. Put you in a full crouch. I use this quite a lot because it is safe. And like I said, if they're fearing this, that's another strategy I was going to talk about. If they're fearing these enders, right, they're not going to hit a button. So, I mean, it's pretty safe to do this. But if they do want to hit buttons, then this will also catch them doing that. And actually, this last part is it'll net you like a little mini combo. So you can do that in a wall standing 3. So there's that. That's, you know, that's pretty cool. On a hit, it does put them into full crouch, which is also very nice because when you're in full crouch, you don't really want to hit buttons. You're going to get blasted. Not very plus on hit, -4, but or +4. And then I think it, like I said, it was -4 on block, right? Yeah. So let's talk about how these three jab extension enders all come into play. So 1-2 by itself, like I said, -4, but it has all these enders. This ender right here is safe mid, but it can be down jabbed. It can be sidestepped. So if you see a Chloe player and you're like, yo, I think he's gonna do 1-2-2, man. I'm just gonna sidestep. Boom. Or boom, boom. 1-2, 1+2. This covers that option of the opponent wanting to sidestep this, which puts her into full crouch, which then she can then mix you up if she wants to do so. And -4 probably not the best idea, but she can still do it, you know, because Chloe players are crazy like that. But you know, on hit you're going to be +4, so that's going to be a very scary situation. You know what I'm saying? So if they want to down jab this will also, you know, counter hit launch them. Boom, you get a counter hit right there. So that covers that option, right? Let's say this string, they're looking out for that high. They're like, you know, I want to duck that. Dun, dun, dun. That's a mid. They get hit by the mid, right? And it's not like they're going to sidestep because they're looking out for this high. They don't want to sidestep. So, boom, right there, mid. So that's kind of how those strings cover each other. I mean, it's like you don't have to use these enders too much, but it's good to use them in conjunction because they cover each other's weaknesses and they apply a basic mix-up that is pretty effective for the most part, right? Can you kind of see how that works? So that's pretty much the premise behind the string. I do want to talk about how you should use the string because I'm going really hard in this guide. I want to talk about everything. So when using this string, there is a core game plan that I like to apply when using it. So stage 1, this is the conditioning stage, okay? 1-2, you're going to condition with a lot of 1-2. And they're going to be blocking a lot of 1-2s because they're just going to be holding back most of the time. So 1-2, you know, you're going to go 1-2, 1-2. Maybe they throw out a linear move, 1-2 sidestep or something, I don't know. But just back up most of the time, right? And then when they least expect it, boom, 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 boom. They want to retaliate, they get hit with a counter hit launcher. Now they're going to think twice about ever hitting a button after 1-2. That's the game plan behind that. You have to see that they're hitting buttons though after 1-2, because if they aren't, then they might be looking out for this. So you really have to condition them with just 1-2 and make them think he's only using 1-2. So that's the reasoning behind that. That's a good game plan that you should base your Chloe off of at high level play. 1-2 is your best friend. Now there's also a stage 2 that I like to also work with. Stage 2 is kind of the complete opposite. You're going to use a lot of these enders, right? You're going to throw out that. You're going to throw out a lot of 1-2-2s because it's safe and you cannot duck it. However, you know, it has weaknesses, but you just have to work, you know, you have to work with these enders, right? You're going to make them think, because they're not, if they're not going to, you know, they're not going to do it if they're not guessing the right option, right? They're not going to punish it correctly or deal with it the right way. So this is plan 2. If you're using all these enders, right? Sooner or later, or not sooner or later, they're not going to want to hit a button after 1-2 because they're afraid of whatever ender. They're going to be thinking, is he going to hit me with a high? The 1-2, 1+2? Is he going to hit me with a 1-2-2? I don't know which one to look out for. I'm going to block. Which is never, you know, if they can block all this, obviously, because there's no low, right? There's nothing to worry about there. But then comes into play the mental frame data, which I like to work with a lot in my games. So they're so used to hitting you with, you're so used to using, they are so used to you using 1-2-2, 1-2, 1+2 on them, that when you hit 1-2, they're waiting for that ender. So you can therefore run up and do whatever you want because they're blocking. They're looking for the ender. So you can do 1-2, you know, down forward 1, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. They're blocking. They don't want to hit any button. You can do stuff like that. 1-2, you know, I don't know. You can do a bunch of stuff, right? 1-2, go up for a grab. That's the plan B. And I think that these two plans that I just talked about are really the ways that you should use these jab strings. I know, I just think I went on for like 15 minutes about her basic, about 3 moves, but you know, I think these are very important to the character. And that if you can understand these moves fundamentally, you'll look at this character in a whole new light than just me spam 1-2 online, you know? This is not, because you're going to see this stuff online, all, you know, people that don't know how to play Chloe, they're going to do this all day in a hop kick or whatever, you know, blah, blah, blah. But there's reasons behind these strings existing, so I hope that you understand them more. So now let's talk about her down forward 1. Her down forward 1 is really good. It is -1, it's 13 frames. It's not an elbow, even though it looks like one. It can be countered by Asuka, etc. So it's really good. I think it's +7 on hit, right? I'm pretty sure it's +7. +7, yeah. Really good. So common misconception about down forward 1s. This is not going to, like if I were to do something like this, it doesn't track that like that. If you can sidestep a down forward 1 both ways with Chloe, well, you know, see what I'm saying? If I were to shoot or do something like that, I'm just going to sidestep it both ways. However, it does track. So if you're side walking, you know, some people, you know, if you're side walking from this distance, it will track to a certain side, which is her right side. So I'm going to show you that now. She's walking this way, she's walking that way. And then I'm going to try to hit it right with the down forward 1. Actually, hold on. Okay. Actually, no, it's her left. It's her left. I'm sorry. It's not her right. It's her left. I messed that up. But yeah, as you can see there, reliably it hits to the left, but sometimes it's whiffing to the right. So that's just how that works. It tracks well to its left. Not its right, but not to the right. So it tracks well to her left, but not her own right. But if you were to just to do a deliberate sidestep, if you see a down forward 1 coming, you're going to sidestep it. Really good move. I think this is like one of her core moves because it is 13 frames at -1. If you hit it, you're +7. You can establish some more offense because when you are plus, you want to work with those frames. You want to add more offense to the offense you've already started, right? If it's blocked, then you have to say to yourself, I'm -1. What do I want to do at -1? Do I think they're going to hit a button? Do I want to hit another down forward 1 because I think they're afraid of what I'm going to do? There's things like that. most of the time you see smarter players hitting jab after a down forward 1 because they realize that it is -1. Therefore, if I were to hit another down forward 1, their jab would hit me and it would beat it. If I were to jab after this, they would hit me because I'm -1. So a lot of players like to do that. A common strat I like to do with this move is I like to do a down forward 1 into a hop kick. Now, this seems very risky, and yes, it is very risky. However, I want to talk about something with Chloe that everybody knows by now. The juice. So, most of Chloe's moves, a lot of them, crush an unreasonable amount. Unreasonable, like, I don't know why, but I get why, to recompensate for her sucking, but they just crush absurdly. So this is a common strat I like to use. Down forward 1 at a hop kick. Now most of the time, people want to jab, because it's like, you're -1, I'm going to try to retaliate with the jab. No. Does not work, because the hop kick, at its starting frames, crushes highs. So, you know, goodbye to your jabs. That also works with counter hit 4s. And under some circumstances, like it's not reliable. See, like right there? It's not reliable, but it is for the most part. Also, of course, since it is a hop kick, you get low crush frames, so that's great. And this actually does crush some mids, not Chloe's own mids. I can't think of a mid that it would crush that Chloe has. Maybe forward 2, but that's too slow, you know? But it does crush some mids as well. This is a really good hop kick. And she gets really low to the floor. As you can actually see, look how low she gets. So it's pretty juicy, but that's also why it's -15. But there's a lot of strats that you can do that I was just talking about when you're -1 with a down forward 1 that you can apply. So working with this move is very important. I would say that a general game plan should be, if it's blocked, then back up and see what they're going to do. Then next time you get a down forward 1 blocked, you know what to do. Which is not cut and dry. Sometimes they're going to do something different after a down forward 1, but it's gathering data. That's really what it is. Because players are not so smart as to change every option every time they do something. Everybody has habits, and that's why smart players know how to take advantage of those habits when they see them. Because it's not like, you can't think to yourself, oh, he's going to change it. He already knows. You don't know that yet. You have to try it out and see. So, that's her down forward 1. Let me think. Let's go for back 4. Back 4 is a fairly slow 16 frame mid. -8 on block, -8 on hit. Or +8 on hit, -8 on block, I'm sorry. Very slow. Unfortunately, this is one of those weaknesses that I talked about earlier. Chloe does not have any fast counter hitting tools at all. So this is the best you're going to get. And of course you have this, but that's it's completely different. This is the best you're going to get for throwing out a counter hit move. It's good for what it is. It's fairly fast for a move like this. It does good damage. It is +8 on hit, but on block you give up your turn. So -8, you're not going to hit anything. You know, don't hit any buttons after this. So that's pretty much the only con to this, is that after you use it, then you completely give up your turn. So you really have to hope that this hits, because if it doesn't, then you're kind of just, alright, back to neutral. I don't really get any damage in. But, you know, if it hits, then it's like, oh yeah, get that damage, can go for another down forward 1 or whatever. But what you really want is to get it on counter hit, because then you get a combo. Main goal of this move. Main goal. I think a good strategy is down forward 1, back 4. The reason I say this is because she has this, but we'll get into that. We'll get into strategies with these moves. I just kind of want to tell you what they're all about first. Back 3, this is her best homing move. She only has 2. She has 1 + 2, and she has back 3. So, I mean, it's pretty good, honestly, for what it is. But I really want to talk about why this is such a stupid move, that nobody really knows why it's so stupid. I'll tell you why it's stupid. So nobody really knows this about this move, I don't think, but I always think it's so funny how they decided to design this move. It's kind of dumb, but pretty much. Chloe is -11 after this back 3. See that? She's punishable, but she's not back turn, because she has the option to go back turn and make it safe, right? So the mix-up is, if I do a back 3, and they try to go for a 10 frame punish, right? I can go back turn and hit them with a Cali roll if they try to hit me with a 10 frame punish. That's the mix-up. Do I want to risk hitting an 11 frame punish and risk her Cali rolling me? But why? I have to always ask myself, why would I do this? To entice them to do the thing that I was just talking about? Nobody even knows that this is -11, and nobody's going to risk getting Cali rolled. So it's like, this is just pointless. It's so pointless, because you can just do back 3, and if it's blocked, you don't even have to do the Cali roll. You could just hold down back, so, and it's safe. So I mean, it's like, and it has a lot more pushback. So I am you know, you're never going to see anybody just do back 3 without it. It's just so dumb, man. It's dumb. I understand why, but it's just really dumb. But that's the premise for the mix-up. And it's kind of dumb. But besides that, the mid is good. It's safe on block. It's really good at the wall. Like, this is one of those moves where, like, you're going to spam this bad boy at the wall. Because wall splats, you can actually wall splat them with this and then Cali roll for a wall combo. It's safe, like I said, if you hold back. It's really good, man. It's really good. Doesn't give anything on counter hit, but good damage. It's a good mid homing move. You're gonna see this a lot online though. I guarantee you, you're gonna see this all day. Just back 3, hold back, Cali roll. That doesn't really work anymore at all. This is, you know, some day 1 stuff, but you're still gonna see it. I guarantee you. You know, it's a classic, and that's pretty much the premise of the move. Pretty dumb, I know, but it's just how it is. So let's talk about, what move do I want to talk about? More mids. She has a down forward 2. It's okay. It's actually an elbow, so that's pretty nice, but it's minus 13. It's not very fast. Oh, it's 15 frames, of course. Hold on. Excuse me. I don't really throw this out too much, but it actually does have really good tracking. I'll show you how good the tracking is. It actually has absurdly good tracking, honestly. Underestimate the tracking on this move. Really, wow, look at that. Woo! Oops, I ducked. That is a, not to her left, to her right, boom, because, I mean, it's her right elbow, so I guess it makes sense, right? That move tracks really well to the right, and absurdly well. But anyways, it's minus 13, it's mid, down 4-2, not much else to say. Of course, you can, there is an extension for it. If it's on hit, if it's on block, you won't get this, but we'll talk about that in a minute. You only really use this in combos, so it doesn't really matter because it only works on hit. So if this gets blocked, then that's not all got to come out. So, you know, just down 4-2, you really need to think about it right now. It's just whatever, you know, so down 4-2. I wish it was safe, but, you know, that'd be kind of cheap. Hop kick, minus 15. It used to be minus 17 in Season 1. But they changed it to 15. I think that's nice. I still think it's obviously still launch punishable, and for good reason, because it is so evasive. This thing is, I have videos on my Twitter of it going through mids. It's ridiculous, man. This thing is wacky. Like, there's a lot of setups for this, and it's okay. This is probably her best whip punisher, to be honest with you. Excuse me. I just ate some shrimp and a pork chop and you know, rice. So I'm kind of full. Anyways, this is a good whiff punisher. I know a lot of clay players disagree, but if you space yourself correctly, you can easily land this if they whiff something. Not easily, but it's achievable, and it's achievable on a consistent basis. Good damage. Actually, not good damage. I forget. They changed this damage. It used to be 17, but now it's 13 damage. So down 4-2 is 1 more damage than that. So realistically speaking, if you were to block something minus 15, you'd want to do it down 4-2. But it's 1 more damage. I mean, if you're used to doing hop kick and it's muscle memory, then you know it doesn't really matter. 1 damage is not really going to make or break anything, but preferably you go for down 4-2. But this also has more range, so it kind of depends. But this also has good range too, because she moves forward. So arguably, they might be the same range, honestly. Chloe also has a stubby hop kick. I call this a stubby hop kick because it is very stubby. If I can hit this from here, right? Let me see, like right here. This is not going to reach. I'll go. See how stubby that is? Nobody really uses this because it's that stubby. But I mean, I guess it does a job if you want to do it after a sidestep or something. But this is up forward 4. Minus 13. It's a hop kick. It sucks. I mean, it low crushes. It doesn't really crush any highs like this one does, the big boy. But it's whatever, you know. I mean, if you want to throw out a hop kick that's safer, then you know, go ahead, I guess. But if I'm throwing out a hop kick, I want it to hit, so I'm going for down 4-3. You know, I want to. As a clay player, I'm putting my life on the line. You know, I need to get that damage, right? You know, just kind of crappy, whatever. And the damage sucks too, right? 13. Well, it's the same as this one, right? So whatever. Kind of forget it exists most of the time. So those are her like launching options, I guess. Let's talk about. She also this is kind of a new addition. You know how she has these jab string enders? She can also do them without the jab string. So she can do 1+2 without the jab string ender. Same properties apply. On block, it is -2. It is a counter hit launcher, and it tracks. So you can do this without the jab string. Same properties apply. you know, so that's pretty cool, I guess. But this is kind of stubby. She does move forward, but her hands are still stubby, so it's not like the long. See, it's not the longest reaching move. You know, she still has stubby hands. It just moves forward a lot. But it's all right. Good damage. You know, you cannot duck this as jails, so that's good as well. She also, this is the new addition in Season 2. She also has the ender of 1-2-1 as an ender, as an armor move. And it's okay. I think that you can achieve the same thing by doing back 1+2, and, you know, but back 1+2 is high. So, you know, it's whatever. But I don't know. I don't really use this too much because why would you use it over this? Because they roughly activate at the same time. I don't think there's a very big difference. There's just not much more reason to. I mean, it's mid, I guess, if that's the reason. Because sometimes they can hit at you with a move that high crushes. Like, let's say, I don't know. What's a move? I can't think of one, but right now, because I'm trying to, you know, elaborate. But there are some moves that, when blocked, they're crouching. So if I do this, they'll just go right under the mid, or go right under the high. So I guess that would be good for that. But that's kind of a really, really hard read. Honestly, just use this. This kind of sucks. It's a new addition, but it's like kind of pointless because she already has one. You don't need another one that's not as good. You know, it doesn't really make any sense. And this kind of tracks too, honestly, because she kind of flings her arms in the air. So I have caught people like side walking this. It's not a homing move, but it definitely has some homing properties that are kind of cheap. Oh snap! Actually, let me do a down forward one, and let me do armor move. Oh crap. Alright, let's see how good this bad boy tracks. Oh god, that actually tracks really well. That actually might be a homing move. Oh wow, that actually might be a homing move. It might be, I don't know. I don't think it is classified as a homing move, is it? Let's actually check. Back 1+2, because if it's a homing move, it has this little, see that little arrow? That little blue arrow, that means it's a homing move. So let me see if back 1+2 is considered legally as a homing move. No, not legally a homing move, but dude, that might as well be a homing move. It homes. All right, homie. All right. So she actually does not have. Oh, she also has this. What am I saying? So she has every extension that she has from her jab string can be used without the jab string. So she also has back 2, same principles apply. It's -4, +4 on hit, and on counter hit, you go boom. So there's that. Pretty good at the wall on Oki, like on their meaty. Kind of, the range isn't that great, but you know, if you're close enough, it's alright. Again, puts you in a full crouch, which is an awesome addition. I think this is very cool. So then you could do stuff like this, or you know, if they want to step, there's stuff you can do here. But generally, if it's on block, then you probably don't want to hit anything, because if you try to do a wall standing 4 here, that's very slow because you're -4. This is very sneaky. You can do this if they want to retaliate because they know you're -4. If they try to jab here, boom, that's a counter hit launcher as well. We'll talk about that move. There's some sneaky stuff you can do out of this, but for the most part, if you want to play it safe, back off after that. But on hit, you know, you get a free mix-up. They're in full crouch, you're +4, you can do some crazy stuff, you know. Some legit cool beans stuff. So there's that. I guess we'll talk about this now. This is her mostly, I think this is her only full crouch low. Yeah, it is. That's useful. She can do this too, but nobody wants to do that. That sucks. This is super good. It's actually only minus, I think it's, well, it says right there, right? It might not say it. No, I don't think it does. But I think this is not, I think it's like -14. Let me check. Just, this has to be a quality guide, right? Quality guide for the boys and the girls. -14, okay. This is a really good low. It leaves you +4. Oh, it's really good. The range, it kind of leaves you kind of far away, so I wish it really didn't do that, but it's all right. It leaves you enough room to do like a down forward one, you know, kind of a 1-2. Yeah, it leaves you at a good range. It gives you plus frames to work with, and it is a juicy counter hit launcher. So really good move. I'm glad that's not launch punishable. Really good. Well, that's not really good, but it's pretty good, right? If only she had this from standing, then I'd be happy. But no, you don't have it from standing. Anyways, so in Season 1, she really didn't have too many moves that could go into this. So you could kind of, honestly, like, what you had to do was you just had to go up and do it, you know? There's no moves to complement it. You can't do this and then do it. You kind of just you know, run up and do it and hope you don't get hop kicked or whatever. Or I don't know, do it, run and go back. I don't know. There's some wacky stuff that you could do. You could like, I don't know, but pretty much you would just run up and do it. But now you have moves that can complement that. So, which is back 2 or this. So pretty nifty, I would say. Very good though. Very good though. Let's see, what else? I don't want to get into her stances yet. I'm going to talk about her stances, which is this. I consider this a stance, or I want to for the video. I also consider this a stance, and I think that's about it, right? I'm trying to get most of the useful moves. Well, this is a new move that came out of Season 2. I guess we'll talk about the newer moves, right? This is a up 3+4, mid-mid. It's safe. It gives you a free back 1 on hit pretty reliably. If you hit it about here, I think it whiffs. At a certain range, like if you, yeah, I'm not going to hit it from there. Certain range, it might be guaranteed all the time, but I might be just wrong. But you get back 1 reliably, and it's safe, and it low crushes. So more of the stuff Chloe loves doing. It is -9 though, so you know, don't want to be hitting buttons anytime after this. But pretty good addition. Doesn't track, of course, but because it's very linear. She's using her heels, and I'll just show you that it doesn't track. I don't see myself using this too much because I mean I just don't, because it's -9, and what low do they really have to look out for them to block something, for them to get hit by something like that? So it doesn't happen too often, but pretty decent for Oki for a meaty, like at the wall. Let's say I do like a wall combo, right, and they get up, make them guess about, you know, lower mid. That's pretty good there. But neutral, it's in the neutral game, this is a weak move. I think this is a weak move because the range is not there. It's just not that great. After something like this, maybe you can do a sidestep down forward 1 and do something like that, or like, I don't know. You can mess around with some certain moves, like make them think about what you're gonna do and do that. I don't know, but it's whatever. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not that great. But it's a welcomed addition. I think it's pretty good. Good damage. New move. Of course, she has manual back turn, but I consider back turn a stance 100%, so I'll get to that. I want to cover more like basic moves. Did I already talk about forward 2? If I didn't already talk about forward 2, forward 2 is basically just a mid extension that lets you use all your jab string extensions, and that's basically it. If you do land forward 2 on counter hit, every single of these enders is guaranteed. It is a natural combo because it is on counter hit. So this actually wall splats, and that same applies to the second hit of your jab string. If your second hit of your jab string is a counter hit, then every ender will be guaranteed. Even if you even delay the 1-2-1, it'll still be a counter hit, which is, I mean, pretty cool, right? I mean, that's pretty nice. However, you know how the enders, this one counter hit launches, and this one gets you that nice mini combo. That doesn't happen if the second hit is a counter hit. You just get like a normal hit, but you don't get the counter hit properties. So, you know, this is not gonna make them flop on the ground. You know, same properties apply for this if the first hit is counter hit. But it's pretty decent. It's good on hit. It's good on block. I honestly recommend just using this sometimes by itself, just to make them think about the enders. You know, it's kind of like using 1-2 by itself, except a much, you know, I mean, honestly, it basically is like using 1-2 by itself because it's -4. So I would say use this in the same way that you use 1-2. You know, make them really think about that forward 1 or forward 2, I mean, and then you know, mess around with the enders, experiment, and you know, really think about what your opponent is going to do and how they react to this, and then you can react accordingly with the ender of your choice. Or you don't even have to use an ender. Maybe you just want to use a different move like this. I don't know, but you have definitely some juiciness to work with there. Let's talk about forward 4. This is kind of a gimmicky move. This is a flip, and it puts you in a back turn, so I'm not really going to talk about back turn yet. It's -4. The double flip, she can do a double flip, and it's -9. So let's just talk about the flips. One flip without holding back is -4. 2 flips, -13. Launch punishable. However, if she holds back, it's just like back 3. She's -9, and she's safe. And if you want to hit that 13 frame punish, boom, I'm going right under that. So basically, do one flip, it's -4, and she can go into back turn, and she can not go into back turn, right? Do 2 flips, it's -13. However, if she does 2 flips and holds back, it's safe. So realistically, never really hit a button. I would say actually, you know what? If you block this, do a down forward 2 if you're playing Chloe, or hit any move like that. If you're playing a different character, hit any move like that, because even though she's -9, she can't escape this. She can't escape a down forward 2, and she can't Cali roll under it because it will cover that. So if I try to do a Cali roll, I still won't go under this down forward 2. So this is how you properly punish that. And of course, there is the mix-up of if I just do forward, forward, 4, and I don't hold back, I'm only -15, or I'm only -13, and then your down forward 2 is not going to work, and I get to punish it. That's kind of like a bootleg mix-up, I guess. But, you know, this is whatever. I think it's good on Oki after a wall combo. I see John Dading use this, and you can do stuff like that. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. That wasn't the most. Oh, well, let's talk about forward, forward 3. Forward, forward 3 is it's a good move. I think this is a good move. It's good in the neutral. It's one of her main neutral game tools. She doesn't have many, but this is one of them. On hit, they get flopped, as you can see, wall splat. It is safe, which is good. It's -6, and it leaves you at a really juicy range where if they want to whiff something, boom, I'm gonna hop kick that. You know. Also, if they want to retaliate, this is a classic setup, day 1 setup. Just forward, forward 3. They want to hit a button, boom. You know, just hit an armor move. Hit an armor move of your choice. Preferably back 1+2 because it's safe. But this is the kind of thing where if you're playing a new person online, you have to see it whether they're even going to hit a button after this or not. So next time you see, oh, he hit a button after that. So next time you can be like, boom. You know, you can't just do this right off the bat because you don't know if they're going to hit a button or not. You have to think about these things. You know, this is. I don't want to sound rude, but you got to think, man. You got to use your brain powers because this game is all about guessing and learning, and you know, just learning your opponent. Playing your opponent. So that's a pretty good move. It's pretty linear. It doesn't really track too well. I think it actually does. Actually, this is one of those moves. I think if they're sidewalking to a certain direction, they do get hit. Or I think it does whiff. Like at this range. Yeah, it might be her run, right? Maybe. It's too iffy to tell. From this range, it might be good to the right. Let me try to the left. I don't know. I think it hits pretty reliably, but it is not that. I mean, honestly, I don't think. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Honestly, it's a good move. It's a good move, but if they try to sidewalk to the bottom or left or right, sorry guys, I'm getting. My words are kind of getting slurred. I am talking a lot, but. Bear with me. I'm getting through this, boys. We are elaborating in that ass. This can be sidestep either way. You know, like that down forward one, they can just sidestep it, but, you know, you're not going to use it right up in their face. So it's a good move. Remove neutral. Very good. Very good. Very good. Wall running 3. Wall running 3 is a very good tool for Chloe. If I can just do one. Do 2 of them or whatever. This is a good move. I just had to show off my wall running 3, you know. This is a classic move for Chloe. On hit, if they are close enough, you get to do a back 1, and it's guaranteed because they are in a state where they cannot get up. A lot of the times, you're going to be too far to hit this. Like, let's say if I hit it from like here and I try to go up, you know, it's going to whiff. So you really have to be like really deep in there. Otherwise, it's not going to hit. So, but oh, that's also a move. I got to talk about back 1. But let me just keep talking about wall running 3. It's really good. It is pretty linear, but I think it does track to one side if I remember correctly. Let me see. Let me see if I were to sidewalk to my left. My right. Oh. Okay, so pretty linear to both sides. But plenty of people walk this all the time, so I don't know why I'm kind of not surprised. Very linear, but I mean, you don't have to. This is one of your main ways to get in, really, because she doesn't really have a lot of ways to get in except forward 2, or just walk up and do something, or a wall running 3. If they want to step this, then you can just go up and do back 3, you know. So this is, you know, small mix-ups to work with in order to achieve more damage. Pretty good. It's +6, right, or whatever. What is it? +7? Yeah, +7. Good. Allows you to do more stuff with your jab strings or whatnot. Establishing pressure. It's a good move. Not much else to talk about there. Her only running move, by the way. She doesn't have anything else. Let's talk about back 1. This is what I want to talk about. Okay, so this move got buffed. I think it got buffed. Some Chloe players are just a bunch of plebs, and they don't understand why it's not a counter hit launcher now. But let me enlighten you, Cholis. This move used to be -13 However, it was a counter hit launcher, so she would scoop them up in the air and they would fly really high and you can combo them. Now it's minus 11, but it doesn't do that anymore. You just get a floppy and maybe you get some Oki, you know. It's better in the reasoning behind the move, because this move, its whole purpose is for Oki. Let me show you why. The whole purpose is for Oki. Oops. Because this move, if they lay on the ground, this move is the perfect move for getting your opponent off the ground from their side. Sometimes the rear doesn't hit. But it picks up Chloe's rear, so that's good to know. Her own rear. This thing is going to flop your opponent like a pancake in every direction pretty reliably, except for the rear. I mean, sometimes it doesn't hit for the rear for longer characters, or if they hold back. Actually, I think it's just that if they hold back, then they're going to crawl up and you're not going to be able to hit them, but very reliable at flopping them like a pancake. And she does have some setups that she can use to utilize this move in a legitimate mix-up. But for the most part, if you're in a situation where you knock your opponent down or whatever, and they refuse to get up, then pancake them. You know, you're going to pancake them off the floor. This is why I think Chloe is considered to be really good against bears, because bears like to lay on the floor a lot. You know, they like to do the bear slap, but if they're laying on the floor, you could just back one, and they won't want to lay on the floor anymore. So I think that's like the only good favorable matchup for Chloe, is because she can back one bears. That's always been my thinking behind it, because it just makes sense. If they lay on the floor, you just back one, and it's really fast too. It's 17 frames, and that's pretty fast for a mid like that. So good mid, man. That's a good move. Really good for Oki. And why I say it's a good buff is because, yeah, it doesn't counter hit launch, but you're not using this move to counter hit launch people. You're using it to get people up off the ground. And if they get up off the ground and they block this, it's only minus 11 now instead of minus 13. So it's much better. Very good move. Also, one thing to talk about this move is deceptive. It's deceptive. Let me show you why. Check this out. Deceptive. Oh, shit. Maybe I gotta do it faster. Aha! You see that? Deceptively evasive. I knew it. It's just like our hop kick, but kind of like a bootleg version. Actually, it might have the same properties as your hop kick. It's just cheap, man. I think you have to hit it right when they hit the high. Maybe our hop kick's like that too. Either way, it high crushes like our hop kick. This is probably not the best situation because he's +1, but still. Also, this move has crazy tracking, dude. This move tracks like a 360 no-scope, okay? Honestly, this move tracks all around. All around. You can't, it's like basically a homing move. You can't sidestep it. Can't sidestep this bad boy. Yeah, no way. No way, Jose. This tracks really well, man, to both sides. So I think that's really cool. So you can kind of use this as a panic move, I guess. Like being panicked to think you're going to hit a jab, boom, you know, or whatever. But main purpose is for Oki, but I think you can use it in some unique situations that can make it useful. And you can't get Oki off this, so it's pretty decent if you don't screw it up, you know. So that's that move. I think it got buffed pretty well. Let's talk about... I'm trying to think of some really useful moves here. Down 4-3 to... So she has this string. Down 4-3, 3. Down 4-3, 2. Down 4-3, 3 is minus 14. So you're never going to use this in the neutral. There's no reason to. It is a natural. This is her 14 frame punish now in Season 2. But there's no reason to use it in the neutral over down 4-3, 2. Because this is safe, and the second hit, counter hit launches. Boom, pancake. The second hit of this, I think just same thing on normal hit, just, you know, corkscrews. Or not, you know, they twist, like a McTwist. So this is also a natural combo. What? I mean, no. This is not this one's a natural combo. I'm tripping. This one is the natural combo. I think this is the reason why this is minus 6. It's safe, yes, but if you were to land this first hit, you're not going to get that second hit guaranteed. So I guess you would be like, oh, maybe I should use down 4-3 because it's natural. No, just use this. There's no reason for anybody to hit. There's no mix-up here, so there's no reason for anybody to, you know, ever... It's like Bob's back 4-2 or whatever that string is. You know, there's no mix-up. It's kind of just like if they fall for it, they fall for it. You don't have to do the ender. You know, you could mix them up, I guess, like that. You can make them think it's coming, so that's pretty good. You can down jump in between this. You can sidestep it, so it's not, you know, not a trap. And I will show you that right now because I've had it happen to me plenty of times. They just go boom. So you know, whatever. But it's a funny string, I guess. It's sometimes commonly used if you're at the wall. You can hit them downstairs in that one stage that, you know, there's only one in the game. So you can end combos with that. Not really, only at the wall. And then this is used in some unique situations for combos. So this is only for combos. Not a good whiff punisher. If you look at her, it's 21 frames and she kind of flips her leg out there. It's not immediate. It's not really a good whiff punisher. And it's minus 14. So I don't know. Maybe I could experiment more with this being a whiff punisher. But from this range, I could just do a hop kick. Or no, I actually can't. This actually has a little bit more range, but we'll have to experiment with this being a good whiff punisher. But I just don't think it's there. But I'll have to experiment more myself. So those are those moves. Let's talk about her. I'll talk about some backswing blows. Why not? She has forward forward 1+2. This is a new move in this season. Or it's not a new move. It has new properties. This used to be like, I don't remember. I think it used to be like safe, like -5, but now it's +7. Funky, I know. It's really crazy. It's pretty funny. So she has this. I mean, it's +7, so I mean, I remember when this first came out, when they first revealed the patch notes, everybody was tripping, dude. They're like, "Yo, +7 lariat, Chloe's broken, dude, nerf." But I mean, it's high. You know, it's kind of hard to. You can't really hit this in the neutral because if you're like, you know, oh, let me get +7, it's a backswing blow. You're not moving forward. You're moving forward, back, then forward. So it's, you know, if they're moving, it's probably gonna whiff. So it's good at the wall, and it's high. So it's like this is kind of hard to hit, man. But on a hit, it does knock back, and this is actually her wall bounce move. I'll show you a little combo. Why not? For the boys and the girls. Combo time. I think this is the best combo to do there. Yeah, that's her wall break move. I wish it was this, or wall bounce. This would make more sense. It would 100% make more sense if this and this were her wall bounce. I would be very happy. But no, I guess not. They decided to make one of the most useless moves she has a wall splat. All right, thanks. Whatever, at least it's something, right? And there's also this. This is completely cheeks, all right? And let me tell you why it's cheeks. This launches them super high in the air, like, yo, that's high, but it's -16. -16 in mid. And the mid part is not the problem, but if it's -16, you're like, all right, this is a very risky backswing blow. But if you look at it, she doesn't even move back, like barely. You're only going to crush like highs and some mids here, like sometimes some mids. It's really only like a high crush because she moves her head back. Any good backswing blow, they move their whole body backward. Chloe moves her head backward, and there's like, it's so stupid. If I wanted a backswing blow, I would want her to move completely backward so I can evade whatever they're going to throw at me because I'm taking that big of a risk. But for this move, it's just evading highs, so it's not worth it. This is not worth it. Never use this. Because why would you use this if you could just use a safer version of this, which arguably is probably more evasive, honestly, and +7, and gives you wall bounce. Yeah, you don't get a big combo, but it's safe, and it's +7, so this move sucks. I always complain about this move. This move is stupid. I don't like it. So if you use this move, don't really, you know, associate with me, okay? Because I don't like it. Anyways. Those are her backswing blows, I guess. I don't know why she has 2. This one just sucks, dude. Okay. Trying to think of some more moves. We covered this, we covered that, we covered this. We haven't covered this. 4-2. She doesn't really have a lot. Let's talk about 3-4. So this is the move that got changed this season. 3-4 is a counter hit confirmable launcher. Kind of. I say kind of. It's really not. Because see right there, it's not really. You can delay it a lot, but you can't counter hit confirm it. I take that back. Sometimes you just see it counter hit and you're like, oh, I hit 4, sweet, I know it's gonna hit. You know, that's your counter hit confirm. You can delay the crap out of this move. I said crap. I'm a holy boy. -14, yeah. You don't want to do this against geese, all right? Or if you're playing JDCR, I wouldn't do this. Well, it recovers in crouch, so I don't think you get electric. But anyways. This move can now go into back turn. So if they expect this second mid to come out, like, you have, whoa, I'm back turn now. So pretty deceptive if you ask me. So you can, we'll talk about her back turn in a little bit. But yeah, you're -15 here, but if they're expecting this second part, it's that mental frame data that counts. Because, yeah, you're minus 15, but they're not going to punish you because they're looking for the ender. You know? And what if you do something like that, you know? So there's always that thinking. And it does push you back a little bit. And, no. Nah, not really. But, yeah, this is a pretty decent addition for such a useless, risky move. Before Season 2, I never used this. Never. You would not caught me dead using this move. Because why am I just going to throw out a hallelujah, minus 14, maybe I get a launch, if I don't, I die. You know, they're just like stupid. It's like, woo, you know, throw it out there. Let's see if it hits. No. that's kind of like a lot of Chloe's moves. You just go, woo, and, you know, you throw them out there. And if they hit, they hit. If they don't, they don't. But yeah, I don't like that playstyle, so I never use this. But now, has some purpose. Has some purpose. So that's that move. We have Sidestep 4. This is one of her best lows. She has 3. I need to talk about lows. I think I'm going to talk about lows now. Sidestep 4 is out of Sidestep. You cannot do it out of not Sidestep. +2, and it puts you in a back turn, so you have options out of back turn. This is only -9 technically speaking. So when you go and you crouching guard this bad boy, it is going to be -9. However, since you are back turn and you have to go back into neutral, and that takes about, like, what, 4 or 5 frames? I don't know, maybe longer than that. You are launch punishable. So let me give you an example. So even though it says -9, you still need to go into back turned. Or you need to go back into the neutral. So, you know, I can just block it and then boom, you know. You can't do anything about that. I can do something juicier probably. Yeah, you're not going to do anything about that. So sometimes it's better. So if I get this blocked, right? Sometimes it's better just to not go back into neutral, because I have to, if I were to do a regular wall standing 2 here with another character, I'd have to do like or just like right there. I'd have to do a back combo, and maybe I'm not ready for a back combo, so I'm, you know, Chloe's not going to get punished that hard. So sometimes if you, I don't know why you would throw a sidestep 4 in just to think it's going to get blocked, you know, you want it to hit. But if you try to go back into this and you get while standing punished and you're already back into neutral, they're going to get a regular combo. But if you just do this, stay back turn, they're going to get a back turn combo, which, okay, you know, whatever. You're still going to get punished either way. So, you know, there's that. It's a good low. Also, the most important factor is that it, boom, counter hit combos. This is one of Chloe's best moves. This is one of those moves where you see this spammed a lot. You're going to see this spammed a lot. Or the 1-2, 1+2, 4-2, 1+2, and you're going to see this spammed a lot. This is very, very good. If you see any Chloe player, they're going to use this to get into the back turn. These are the most common ways. Common ways. So look out for this move. This is a very good move. I think this is a good spacing control move. Like space control. Chloe can control space decently, I guess, from this point in the screen, because, you know, I think it's really good against Mishimas. If they try to go for electrics, you know, you're going to duck the high, you're going to counter hit, combo them. I think it's good against a lot of characters. It's good at spacing control, like if they want to run up and hit a button, you can throw this out. You just have to be careful, because, you know, it is out of a sidestep, so if they do see that, it can be kind of telegraphed and they can punish it. But I think it's very good at space control. Space control. Very good at that. Because it is pretty long range. Let me see. Give me 1 sec. Alright. All in one take, baby. I'm getting down to business in this review, in this guide. I don't think there's... Down to... This is kind of a crappy move. It's neutral. On counter hit, it has the same properties as back 2, where you can get a flop combo. But I never use this because it's slow, it sucks, and the range... I think the range got buffed this season. It used to be horrible range. Like, this range used to be god-awful. She would, like, slap the air in front of your face. It was so bad. But I think they upgraded the range, so that's good at least. But it's just not that good, man. You know, look at on hit. This move sucks. On the thing, this move, I guess it's okay, right, on hit. But the damage, damn, that's actually quite a bit of damage. But I don't know. I don't think this move is that good. Maybe it's decent. Maybe I should use it more. But Season 1, this move is definitely cheeks, my dude. Like, cheeks. Look at that. On block, you can't even get 1-2. Maybe down forward 1, but I don't know. It's just alright. I have to experiment more with this move, but from my perspective right now, I don't think it's very good. It could have some uses though, and I do. It does counter hit launch, so. Alright. Maybe you could do some funny setups where you want to hop kick here. You know, they think they're going to retaliate, because it looks like it's pretty negative. So I guess, or maybe you want to hit this on block into like a armor move. This might be a good setup to do your armor move. So there's things like that you could work with, but whatever. I don't really use it too much. Maybe I will though. Let's talk about. I already talked about her armor moves. I talked about a lot, man. Let's talk about moves from. It's more lows, more lows. So she has, for her most useful lows, she has this, which is sidestep 4. She has down back 4, down 3, and down back 3. These are the primary lows. I don't think she honestly has any other lows than that I can think of. I think that's it. And down 4, like a a generic down 4, and down forward 4. This is also very good. So the main tool that you're going to be using to go in for a long-range low poke is down back 4. This is -3 on hit, so unfortunately not plus. And you are in full crouch, so you can do some funny stuff. This actually didn't used to go into full crouch, but until Season 2 they actually made it. So pretty funny. But you're not plus, so if it was plus it'd be a lot more good, a lot better, but whatever. But it does go into a stance, which we will talk about. But you can poke with this. It has good range. It tracks decently well. Good range. I think this is her longest reaching low by far. Because her lows are pretty stubby. Like she's got this, and then she's got her lows suck. Honestly, like Jesus, her lows suck. But this is pretty good. It's kind of just a low that you want to harass your opponent. It's not very fast though, but if you want to harass your opponent, just throw this out. But however, unfortunately, -14. Oh, actually, I think they might have buffed that this season. I think it might have been launch punishable. So -14 is not that bad for a low, but it is pretty bad. But you gotta be careful with this. Be very careful. But good low to harass your opponent with, I think. Nothing on counter hit. I think you might get you're neutral, but you don't get anything. Let's see here. Down 3. This is another low. I don't think you should ever use this. This is kind of like a crappy Noctis down 3. It's -3. It high crushes, I guess, but it sucks. It's just stupid. The range sucks. It's very linear, and it does no damage, so there's like no point in using this. Because you could just do down 4. And yeah, it does like half the damage, but you're -2 instead of -3. This might be okay, but it has less range than a down 4 too. Like if you do that, it's gonna whiff from here. That'll probably hit. Yeah, this just kind of sucks. Yeah, whatever. Down back 3. I guess let's try to get into some. Hold on. I really want to think of every move I can think of that's useful. I don't want to think of like. I guess we'll talk about the tornado, the Beyblade, let it rip, right? So if you don't know how to block this, I recommend going into practice mode because this is very important to block. This is her. I guess I wouldn't really call this a stance, but basically it's low, 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 high, mid, low, 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 high, mid, low. So that's how you block it. You cannot duck that high and do a wall standing punish because there's a mid right after that. How you beat this is just you down jab in the middle of it. And down jab will also beat this. So just down jab when you see the string. Of course, you can just do the first part and predict and maybe go for a low parry. And let me see if I can do that now. Not very likely, but definitely a option that can occur. So how am I going to do this? If I want to low parry, what am I going to have her do? I'm going to have her do... If I try to low parry. Actually, I'm going to have her do a low parry. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Low parry. Okay. Or I have to block first. See? Okay. So if you block that first part, you have to be careful if you down jab because she also, she could cancel it. She doesn't have to do the enders. She can just, do this first part low, 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 and then, stay in crouch. So you have to be careful. So she also has low, 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 low. So if you really are looking to block that mid, the high mid, this is going to throw you off and you're probably going to get hit by this. But it is neutral, so whatever. You can't do anything after this. You're just back to the neutral. However, after this, you can actually, after the high, mid, low version of this, you can actually go into back turn. You don't have to go into back turn. You can just go back to the neutral. Actually, no, this is actually forced back turn. I forget. Never mind. This is forced back turn every time. So you go into back turn here. Of course, you don't have to do anything out of the Cali roll. You can just do that, but forced back turn out of this. I mean, you can't low parry also. You might be thinking, well, can I just low parry this this part right here, this last part? No, you can't. Because that would be cheap, and I don't like that. So, can't low period. So, you know, be careful after blocking this because she could do some chunk. You know, you've seen it. She does this and a Cali roll and then you die. So be careful. But that's pretty much this string. It's really, really gimmicky. I hardly use this. I only use this when I want to end rounds. If I really am feeling desperate and I need to end that round, I'm going to do this. Like, this is cheesy, but it does a job, man. It's really... You're going to end that round if you use this. I guarantee you, dude. If you use this, like, once a game or, like, once in a match, you're going to get them with this. But use it very sparingly. You don't want to spam this, dude. This is really gimmicky. It really, really is. Let me think of more useful moves. Honestly, I've gone over a lot of her useful stuff that you're going to be using. I've gone over the... I think I might have gone over, like... Her prime, I think that might be like a just of the character, honestly. 4. Let me go over standing 4. So standing 4, I'm surprised I didn't go over this earlier. She doesn't have a counter hit 4, excuse me. She has a quick 11 frame, or 12 frame, sorry. 12 frame mid, that is safe. However, it's decent for what it is. It tracks well to her right because it's her right foot. And I'll show you why not. I'll show you. Just so you can take my word for everything else that I have to say, right? Because Chloe Master raised, am I right? So it tracks well to her right. I can't sidestep there, but since it's her right foot, it just goes past her left side, so, you know, whatever. This is good if you're in a situation where you need a really quick mid if they want to do something evasive. Like, let's say you think Lily's going to do a Matterhorn or, I don't know, something of the sort. Like, you're in a really sticky situation, and you're in a mix-up, but you have enough frames to squeeze in a mid or something. Or maybe you just want to check them, right? Like a jab, you know, you'd always do that. But it ends your turn immediately. You're -9. You're not hitting anything after this, so, you know, be careful. It's like +4, right? +2. It's okay for what it does. It achieves the bare minimum of what you want in this sort of move. This is usually a down forward type of move, but this is like a crappy version of one. Very, very disappointing. Her standing 4 is very disappointing. She does not have a counter hit 4. If she had a counter hit 4, this character would be off the chain. I'm telling you right now, she'd be off the chain, but she doesn't. So, yikes, my dudes. Yikes. Yeah. No fast counter-hitting moves from me. I'm just going to throw out back fours all day. Yikes. So a lot of people say, you know, Chloe is really not that bad. She is really bad. You can still win with her, but that's for another video of what I think of really about the character. But she can win. You just really have to... You got to do a lot of things that you usually wouldn't have to do if you were playing a better character. But whatever, man. I choose to play this character, you know, so I have to live with the repercussions, you know. What else? A down forward 4. This is her last low that I want to talk about. Or second to last, actually. This is a hopping low. However, it does get hit a lot of the time, even though it's supposed to be a low crush. There are some frames where, like, you're still going to get hit out of it because her feet are still technically on the floor. So right there, that didn't work, but hold on. Maybe not immediately after like a move like that, but like, I don't know, just take my word for it. Sometimes it does not low crash like it should. Like, I mean, her foot was landing there, so that didn't really count, but it just doesn't low crush sometimes like it should. It also counter hit combos. It's kind of hard though. This season they made it where it is a counter hit combo, or on counter hit it does give you like a small combo, but it's really bootlegged. Like you have to do something like that. So, you know, pretty bootlegged. Really weird. I don't know why they did that, but whatever. At least you get a combo after it. But I think that this is a 100% seeable low. I do like to use this a lot after like a 1-2 and they don't want to hit buttons, like run up and do that because you're +7. This is a frame trap for back 4 because if they want to hit something, you are +7. This is a 16 frame move. They can't do anything. If they hit a button, they die. So this is a very common setup you do a lot with Chloe. Down forward 4 on hit, or down forward 1 on a hit, back 1, common setup. You know, this kind of stuff where you're plus, just hit a back 4. You just have to be careful. Like, you have to condition your opponent, because what if you're +7 and you do back 4 and they do nothing, right? You just gave up your turn. You could have done this, into this, into this, into that. You know, you could have done a lot of stuff. So, this move is good. Just don't use it a lot on patient opponents, because they're not going to fall for it. You know, it's not really that good if you're just going to use it every time you're plus. You have to be... if you're plus and your opponent doesn't like to be wild and hit buttons, then you have plus frames to work with, and you have moves that you can use, other than back 4. Let me think. Dude, I honestly am covering so much. I feel kind of tired, but I'm still going strong, boys. This is a long section, It's going to be a long video, but this is the ultimate guide in Chloe. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be no other better guide than this one I'm showing you right now. This is the ultimate guide for Season 2. So, you know, I hope you're happy. I hope all you Chloe players are happy. And if you're picking up the character, she's really fun. So I recommend it. And I recommend playing Tekken because this game is really fun. Anyways, I'm going to try to think of more moves. I think that's about it. I think I want to go into stances now, then I want to go into combos. So that might be it for like move. I'm trying to think of more useful moves, but like oh yeah, also her 12 frame punish or 2-2, which you should never use outside of combos, can actually cancel into a low, which is her down back 3. So pretty good at our round ending. Sorry, I'm kind of. It's hard to speak, guys. I've been speaking for a long time, but. Yes, this is a pretty cheesy round ender that I like to pull off very once so often. Okay. Let me stretch my mouth. Don't take that in the wrong way. Alright. Lick my lips. Alright, let's get into the stances now. She doesn't really have stances per se, but she does. So we're going to get into the easiest one, and then we'll go work our way up from there. So she has Scoot Stance. Now, Scoot Stance is from down back 4. It is also from a move I didn't talk about, which is forward, forward, 4. Now, forward, forward, 4 is -1. This is a mid. It's pretty long range, but it's very, very slow. It's 23 frames. Very, very slow for a mid. This is not a running move. If you run, you're going to get the flip, which is forward, 4. You have to do forward, forward, 4. So it comes out of this and this, and you'll get it once I start telling you how it works. So basically, what it is it's a low to a mid, and this mid right here is forward, 4. See that? So you can do down back 4-4, and you get the forward 4, and vice versa. So you can do down back 4-4, or you can do forward 4, down back 4, and then you can continuously loop this if you want, and then you can end it with a mid, which I will talk about right now. So you can continuously loop this. You can go, you can go, you can go, you know, you loop it. In between this is interruptible. This is not a, you know, can't hit a button sort of thing, otherwise you get counter hit. So let me show you. You can down jab in between this. This is what you have to do. That's what you have to do. On block, on block. Well, on block, no, actually, I think it's on hit. Maybe it's not. Maybe actually, you know what? I think they might have changed the frame data on this in Season 2. I think you used to be able to down jab here, but they might have changed it. Now you get counter hit, which is a good thing, honestly. But on block, you know, you just punish this. So never mind. Forget what I said about that. I thought that on hit you could actually just down jab. So on hit, if she does the second part, if you down jab, please do not do that. You're gonna die. You're gonna die a horrible death. Please do not do that. And you'll understand that in a second. Really, do not down jab if you get hit by this. Please do not do that. You will die. I mean, please do if I'm fighting you. But just know that it's very deadly. This move, this stance. If you do not deal with this correctly, you will die. You will die a horrible death. Very painful. So at the end of this mid right here, after forward, forward, 4, not the low, she has 3+4. This is a mid that cannot be interrupted. You cannot interrupt this. So let me see if I can. You cannot interrupt that. You can sidestep it. You can't interrupt it. If I try to interrupt it, I get counter hit launch. That is a counter hit launcher. Counter hit launcher. So it's safe. Counter hit launcher. Really good. I can't down jab. Here's the weakness. Here's the weakness. Very hard to do. Oh gosh. You really got to be a G, and I'm not a G at sidestepping, so I can barely get it, honestly. You know who can do this really well is Bloodhawk and Cade Roberts. God. Okay, there was. You can sidestep to her right, but it's so precise that I did it twice. It's really, really, really precise, man. You really got to be quick. Not to her left. It's only to one direction. It's her right. If I try to go left, I will not sidestep it. Yeah, I'll get hit. So you really got to be a G and sidestep this to her right. And it's like you only get a few frames to do it. So that's the weakness to that. But besides that, so if you're fighting a Chloe player and she's doing this all day and you don't know what's going on, you're like, dude, you're getting hit with the Shangle special on Rip. Where you can hit a button is if she does the mid to the low. If she does the mid to the low, then you can hit a button in between that. If she does this to this, do not hit a button. Do not hit a button. Like, just let it happen. Let it happen, all right? Let it happen. It's not a big deal. Because if you try to interrupt this, try to hit a jab anywhere in between there, you're going to get hit by everything. Let me explain how that works. So this is only, this third part is minus, is it only -6? I thought it was less than that. -3, yeah, it's -3. So she can sidestep, she can hit armor move after this. She can still do something crazy if she wants to after this. So you have to be careful after this move. Always be careful. Because she also has finish. Now finish is launch punishable, but it's another mid that comes out. So she has this mid and finish. If she really thinks that you're gonna, let's say like, okay, I know she's -3 after here, I'm just gonna start retaliating. Finish, you get hit by the finish. Alright, so there's mind games to this string, right? You can really, if you're fighting a noob, dude, you're gonna put them in the toilet, because they're not gonna know what to do. She also has this, which is after this mid part, forward 4-4, or down back 4-4, she has 4-4. This is a hopping 2 mids, puts you at +4. However, you are airborne, and in between these 2 mids, you can get jabbed very, very easily. These are also very linear, so I don't really use them. They are very, very, very gimmicky and very risky to use, because if I do this, you can easily get floated. But they do give you a combo if hit on normal hit. I can hit in between that, and I can hit in between the second one as well. So, not very good. But I would never choose to hit a button there, because then she can do, you know, down back 4, 3+4, which will kill me, so I don't want to do that. Let's see, what else? That's pretty much Scoot stance in a nutshell, but there's one more thing as the player that you wanted to keep in consideration, very important. If you hit this part of the string, the whole thing is guaranteed, and it is very easy to counter hit. If I see that this part is counter hit, oh, counter hit? Okay, I'm just going to do the whole thing. Very easy. You can see, look at the way she holds her body back. If you hit that on counter hit, that's also guaranteed. So it's very easy to counter hit this. Counter hit confirm. Very easy, and you get that whole thing for free. So it's like, if you're hitting a lot of down back 3, this is also another strategy. If you're doing this a lot, right? Going a lot of down back 3 out, or whatever, and they're like, you know what? He's -3, or maybe they just want to hit a button afterwards. Boom, this suddenly comes out, you counter hit confirm it, boom, you get the whole string for free. Super, super good. I mean, it's not that good, but it's pretty good, man. What else? I think that's it for this string. This third part is, this third part launches if it is the kit that is the counter hit. So that third part, if you hit it on counter hit, it will launch. So if they block and then they get hit by that, you get a launch. That happens quite often. Quite often. So there's that string in a nutshell. I know it kind of is quite a lot, but it's pretty simple. If once you get the hang of this string, you'll understand it pretty easily. It's not too hard to get, and it's pretty decent, and it's a noob killer for sure. Another string or another stance I want to talk about is her down back 3. This is like the main one that is kind of hard to explain, but not really. So pretty much, this is why I dislike this character. Not really. I don't dislike this character, but I dislike this low. Because this move forces you to pull moves out of it in order for it to be safe. So on hit, it's -13. On hit, it's -13. So in order for you to make it safe, like if I were to, let me show you. If she were to just do a down back 3, and I could just do a wall standing, whatever. You know, if I was a Josie or, you know, whatever, I'd have an even bigger punish. But if I block this, or not even if I block it, if I get hit by it, right? No. No, never mind. Not if you get hit. But actually, that's launch. No, that's -13. Never mind. I take it back. I take it back. On hit, it's not minus. In fact, I think that on hit... Wait, hold on. I'm tripping. I think on hit... No, I think on hit, you're not -13 because you're -13 on block. But, hold on. You're not -32. You're not -32. I think this doesn't know what it's talking about. Sometimes these machines, you know, you're not -13 there. Nah. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, you are. You are, because you're dancing. Never mind. I'm tripping. So, okay. You are -13 on hit, but since they are in full crouch, and since they have that weird animation, they can't retaliate quite in time. But in order for you to make this safer, you have to pull moves out of it. And you have a plethora of moves that you can pull out of this. So I think it's just annoying to do because you have to pull moves out of it. Otherwise, you're just dancing this whole time, right? Let's say you hit it, right? Let's say I want to hit this. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like if you don't pull moves out of it, you're not plus or you're punishable. It's not true, but let me show you why this move sucks. Okay, let me just give you a very basic understanding of it. If I do this, right? I'm plus, but since I'm dancing so much, I'm minus 13. I'm minus 13 frames because I'm dancing, and I can't do anything while I'm dancing except dance. I can also hold back if I want to, but I'm dancing this whole time, right? So I think that's how it's punishable. And let me record it just to make sure. I'm dancing this whole time, now I can block. Dancing this whole time, now I can block. That was a punish. This is a punish. Right there. So I held back after that. So it's not a low where you can be like, yo, I'm going to hit this low, then I'm going to follow up with some down forward ones, you know? It's not like that. You have to pull the moves that come from this dance. That's why I dislike it, but I mean, it makes sense why it works this way, but it's just, it's cool. It's really gimmicky, you know? I don't know. I don't like it too much. I wish it was just a low that made you plus on block or on hit, but whatever. The moves that you can pull out of this are, you can pull your jab strings out of it. These jab strings, all the same jab strings. We talked about these strings, same principles apply. She can pull out her forward 2 string, but the interesting about forward 2 in this regard is that it actually has a backswing-ish property. If you do forward 2, she doesn't go back, she just goes forward. But if you do it from here, she moves back first, then goes forward. Why is this important? This is important for this reason. Sometimes your opponent, if you do 1-2, what is he gonna do? Down jab. Goes right under that high. Boom, it's his turn. What does this deal with? That deals with that situation very well. You can also do something else, but this is the easiest way to deal with a down jab if they're going to down jab after this. So let me show you. Down jab, it whiffs, boom, boom. I get, and this is actually since that, remember what, like we said, since that forward 2 is a counter hit, she gets the full string for free. So that's how you deal with down jabs. If she's a little bit closer, it might hit like that. Wait, hold on. Actually, I think it depends. Some characters have longer arms, but for the most part, if they down jab, that's going to cover that. So let's say you're doing this and they want to down jab and they're near the wall, then you just do 2-1, boom, wall splat, natural combo. There's also another option that you can do if they want to down jab after this, go back turn and do 4. But that's kind of, you don't really need to do that. That's kind of dumb, but it works. Let's talk about more options out of just this stance. So out of this stance, you can go into scoop by doing a down back 4, which we just elaborated on this stance. So you should know how it works. You know, hold on. You know, all the stuff that follows that stance. She also has a unique move, which is down back 3-3. Now, down back 3-3 used to be really bad because it was very, very slow and it was super stubby and nobody used it except at the wall, because it was super omega slow. Now it's fast, and it's about, I forget how plus it is, but it definitely is, okay, +4. And on normal hit, this actually nets you a combo. So you can do this and you know, whatever you want to do. So that's good, it's +4. Very linear, but very slow. It still is pretty slow, but it used to be way slower. Like if I were to show you a video of Season 1 Chloe doing this move, you would be like in awe of how slow that is. Like you wouldn't even understand how whack that is. But that's one move. Not very useful, but it's alright at the wall because if you hit this and they just backdash, they're just going to move out of the way. So you pretty much have to use it at the wall. She also has the forward part of her scoot stance, which you can do by just hitting 4. So you can do 4, 3+4, you know, you get the jig. So pretty much, let me think of more moves. Hold on, I know she has more. You can do 2 of them, which on counter hit is a natural combo. That was something that was not existent in the first season. If you hit this first part on counter hit, that second part was not guaranteed, I'm fairly certain. I'm pretty sure last season that this was like minus something on block, maybe, but now it's neutral. So that's good. However, you see a lot of Chloe players spam down back 3-4 like this all the time, but you really only want to use it in certain situations. Down back 3-4 by itself is launch punishable, I'm fairly certain. Yeah, it's launch punishable, right? Yeah. No. What? Is that safe? I didn't know it was that safe. Oops. Probably only like -13. I wish Chloe had a 13 frame punish to show you, but she doesn't. I think it's minus 13. Oh yeah, it says it right there, minus 13. So minus 13, that's actually pretty good. But and you can low parry the second hit him for. No, actually, I don't think you can. I think this down 4-3-4 is non-low parryable. If on hit, you can't low parry it on hit, and if you're blocking, you're just gonna there's no low parrying that. Anyways, I think I talked about the most useful moves out of this. You can go into back turn by holding back, so that's also pretty good. That honestly might be it for the moves out of this. I would say that the way you want to use this move is that what you want to do is you want to first make sure that your opponent is not going to hit buttons after down back 3. So you want to hit them with a 1-2, 1-2. I would suggest double tapping that too, because it's kind of hard to get the 2 out sometimes, because sometimes you'll hit it and you'll just get 1. So 1, double tap 2, just in case. But don't double tap it too late, because then you might get like, you know, the ender or whatever. But probably won't happen, because I just tried to do it and it didn't happen, so disregard that. However, I would say the game plan is make sure they're not hitting buttons, because if they try to hit a wall standing 4 here, this will beat that. If they try to down jab, you have options to beat the down jab. So that's really all you have to look out for, is if they want to hit a wall standing 4 or a down jab. And then once they stop hitting buttons and they respect your down back 3, then you can proceed with the slow mix-up tools. The very slow mix-up tools. Very slow. However, if they're not hitting buttons and they're respecting you, then that's when you want to use it. That's exactly why. You know, you can go to back turn, you can hit them with a mid. You can, you know, just stuff like that. I think that's where you want to use these other tools. And that's pretty much the premise for this. You can also do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ooh yay, repeat. You can do this by hitting down back 3, down back 3, down back 4, down back 3, and she counts up to 8, but I don't have audio on right now, so bear with me. Let me see. That's it for that. Now we're going to go into back turned. Back turn is it's not that bad. It's not that hard to understand. Pretty much back turn can be achieved by doing a plethora of moves. This goes into back turn side step 4. As we talked about earlier, back 3. Manual back turn is back 3+4, which is a great new addition, I think. This also crushes lows, by the way, because she hops. So pretty cute, right? You can also go in back turn by doing this, and forward 4, and forward 4, 4, and that's all the moves that go into back turn that I know of. Yeah, that's all of them. So when you're in back turn, of course, let me just enlighten you on the best move in the game. Not really, but this is everybody's worst nightmare. You've seen it on TV. Sorry, my game lagged a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's been doing that a few times. I just haven't been talking about it. Either way, this is the as seen on TV move. We all know about this. This is done by doing forward 3+4, 3+4. So basically how this move works is that there's 2 parts of it. There's the roll, there's the mid, and then there's the third mid. So the initial roll, and then there's the mid. By the way, this move has to come out of the roll. I can't be in back turn and then do it immediately. I have to roll first. So you have to roll, then do the mid. Comes out of the roll. So the roll, then the mid, then the other mid. So there's 3 parts to this. Now, she does not have to do the third part, as I've been showing. When she does not do this, she is minus 45, but she lunges back very far. So, if she doesn't do the second part, you can run up and down forward to her. And a lot of people still don't know this in this day and age. Still do not know that you can do this. For some odd reason. I don't know why. I feel like if you were playing against Chloe, this would be the first thing you would lab, but a lot of people still don't know. And I'm almost attacking God online, which is saying something, man. Hey, Harada, Season 2, man. Gotta change those rank systems. Anyways, low-key brag. Low-key flex. What do they say? Low-key flex, but alright, I don't know. So, if you do, like you just saw, if you don't do the ender, I can run up and punish you. However, if I do the ender, then, you know, if I run up and try to punish, I'm just going to get hit by that. But this is where the sidestep comes into play. You can just sidestep and punish her. Either way, so that's how you do with that. If she doesn't do the ender, you run up and punish. If she does, then you sidewalk. However, I will tell you that it is always safer to sidewalk, because think about the risk versus reward. If I do the ender and you try to run up and punish me, you're going to get hit by that and I get momentum. If I don't do the ender and you don't get that punish, but you don't get hit by anything, right? Because you're not going to get hit by the ender if you're running up, if you're sidestepping. And you're not going to get hit by anything else because I'm not doing the ender. So sidestepping is the more safe option. It's the more consistent, because a lot of players, Chloe players, like to mash this, when in reality you should be hit confirming it and then doing the ender if it hits, it is super hit confirmable. Very, very hit confirmable. That's the whole point of the string. So if you see this hit confirm it, do the third part. But honestly, you could probably still get away with the third part because people still don't know how to deal with it. But when you see this and you block this second part, just sidestep. Always sidestep. Because after this second part, sidestep beats that ender. So there's no reason not to do it. Yeah, you can risk it all and go in for that big down forward too, but you're probably going to get hit by the ender. So just sidestep and, you know. But I'm supposed to be giving you Chloe tech, not anti-Chloe tech. So, you know, use this very sparingly. I mean, you can make them guess, okay? Sometimes you don't want to do the ender, sometimes you do, because you want them to guess. It's always riskier to go for the ender, because then they can sidestep it, which is the easier and more doable option. Not doing the ender will leave you right here. It's a lot safer. So confirm it. If it doesn't hit, then I suggest that you go back to, you do not do the ender. If it does hit, then of course you're going to want to combo them. Duh. Excuse me, that was a little rude, but duh, you know. Saying that to myself. Saying that to myself. Alright, so that's the Callie roll. It comes out of back turn. So I know when I say this character is very deceptive, she can, you know, do stuff like this. This is going to catch you off guard. So this catches everybody off guard, man. But she's very deceptive because she can just all of a sudden, oh, okay, I'm flying at you with my Callie roll. Alright, you know how it is. How to beat Callie roll, by the way, you want a really fast low, or you want a low, or you want a mid that reaches very low to the ground. So this down forward 3, it kicks the floor almost, so this is going to catch her in her Callie roll. Down forward 1 does not, so you don't want to use a down forward 1 even though it is a mid against the Callie roll, because let me give you an example, my friends. I'm going to show you why you don't want to do that. Sorry to all the Chloe players out there, I am giving away the tech, but you know. That'll hit, but sometimes it won't. Like, check this out. I know sometimes it doesn't hit, for sure. For sure, sometimes it whiffs. Maybe Chloe's is consistent, but I know Dragunov's isn't. I know a few other characters do not have a consistent Callie roll punish when she's like that. So, okay, her Callie roll does actually get hit by down forward 1. I feel like maybe it takes there's like a specific frame where it crushes her down forward 1, but for the most part it actually does cover it. So that's pretty good. And of course this is going to cover it. But if you try to do something like a standing 4, right, mid, I know this goes under for sure. I know it, dude. I know! Take my word for it. It goes under mids. I'm telling you right now. It goes under this mid. Under rare circumstances, it does. Maybe not in this specific situation, but I know this thing goes under mids, highs, of course, but it goes under mids. Wow. A lot of Chloe's mids are just good at hitting it, but there's a lot of mids that people try to use and they just get gobbled up, you know? Like, obviously, I can't use that. I can use that. But back 3 probably won't hit it. Wow. Wow. I'm really shocked. Okay, so you can use mid. I mean, these all reach fairly low to the ground, though. Like, if I already used 4-2, though, I'm dying for sure. Yeah, there we go. That's a mid. I'm going to the bone zone, ladies and gentlemen. Do not use mids that reach far to the ground. It's kind of character specific. You just kind of have to know which moves your character, you know, utilizes to beat that. But anyways, that's how you deal with that. And I don't know why I was explaining that, because I'm supposed to be explaining the character. But hey, you know, the more the merrier, right? The more info. So that's that. Out of back turn. So that's the only move she has out of the roll itself. In back turn, she has a new addition, which is not new, but the new properties are new. She has down 3+4. This is a not launching low, but it knocks you down and you get a free while standing 3. At tip range, you don't if you're too far, but under most circumstances you do, which is pretty good. And you can run in or whatever. It's risky, of course, because it is launch punishable, don't get me wrong. Very linear, very linear. So you really got to be careful when using this. I mean, you could really just go unga bunga and do stuff like this where you make them think about what's going to happen. Are they going to get hit by a Callie roll, or are they going to get hit by this, which I do a lot, but they can sidewalk both of those options. Like if she wants to try to mix me up with a roll, right? Like she's going to roll, I'm just going to sidewalk. So easy. And then she's going to be this. This is a classic situation that always happens. Since she wants to do another roll and I sidewalk all the way to the front of Chloe, she's going to do a while standing move. And then I can just, you know, punish her. I'm telling you, this is not, I know it seems kind of like gimmicky, like this never is going to happen, but this happens more often than not if you do this correctly. And if you do, and I'm not a pleb, you can launch it. And that's a launch. Wait, oh, they actually, I think they buffed while standing 3. I don't think it's punishable anymore, or launch punishable. This actually used to be launch punish, but now it's only -12, so I take that back. But no launch, but you can punish. I guarantee you, you're going to see if you sidewalk after back 3, and they do 2 of these, they're going to do a wall standing 3 if you walk all the way to the rear. So, also, but however, so before Chloe really didn't have a way to deal with this. She could only do like a down 3 if she really thought you were going to step, which sometimes hit. Not really reliable. She has no homing move from back turn, except now she does, because now she has back turned 1+2. Now this is just 1-2 1+2. However, it's from back turn now. This is exactly what she needed, because now she can do like a Cali roll, you're going to sidestep, and she can do a 1+2, which will hit you sidestepping. So this is very, very important for the character. Something very subtle, yet very much appreciated, because it does help out a big, large problem for the character. Big, large. You know, if I want to sidestep there. Very good, very good. I like it a lot. Same properties, of course, apply to this move as the regular move if you were to use it. So, you know, same move, just from back turn. It is high, you know, blah, blah, blah. We already talked about it. What other moves? She can go into scoot stance from back turn. Pretty tricky. So you can tell you can get pretty freaky with this character. You can get freaky real quick. You know, you can do some crazy stuff. She can jab out of back turn, which I think is super useful, because I didn't talk about this. After like a sidestep 4, right? If they want to hit buttons, you can just jab them. You know, if they really want to hit a button here, if they want to retaliate, not only can you just Cali roll them and they die if they want to hit something higher mid, but you can also just jab them and get plus frames. So very cool, very cool. Like, let's say if they want to do a common thing here is people like to do sidestep 4 into Cali roll, and people like to stop that by doing mids here or lows. 1-2 is going to stop that. So, I mean, you got to be smart with this move. After your +2, you have moves out of back turn. You can't always just do this in a Cali roll. You have options. So, more options out of back turn. She has a few really crappy moves that I get accidentally like all the time. 3+4. This move really sucks. It's moves garbage, pretty much. It's not plus. It is a natural combo, which gives pretty chunky damage, but you can hit in between these moves, and you're -6. So, and it's really slow, and it doesn't track very well, and it just sucks. So, and if you don't do the lander, then you're gonna die, basically. So, this move just, it sucks, you know? I guess it's it just doesn't have the range, you know? If you really want a mid from back turn, just do Cali roll, you know? If you want an immediate mid, just do 4. Because this is just too sucky. Sucks too much. Excuse me. Sucks too much. So not much to talk about with this move. I think it sucks. And it doesn't track very well. You have a quick mid from back turn, which is 4. This is -10 now. I actually didn't know that. But this actually gives you a knockdown like so. I think you sometimes are guaranteed a back 1 if you are at the wall. Like that. And that's pretty good. But I didn't know it was -10, so whatever. But it's very linear as well, but it's a quick mid from back turn, so that's another option that you can do. What else? I didn't want to do that. Kind of all over the place here, sorry about that. Also has down 3. This is a common tactic you see. Down 3 out of back turn. It is +3. It is frame trap with this, you know, get that. If they want to hit a button after this, while standing 4, they get hit, and then, you know, you can do like a back 4, frame trap, or whatever. This is pretty good, and you're in full crouch afterwards, so you can do this, you can do, you know, stuff like this, you can mix them up like that. This is common, you see that all the time, so pretty funny, pretty nice. I think this is pretty decent. It's like Laws, you know how Law goes in the back turn and he hits you with a low? Same thing, pretty much. Just be careful, because if you telegraph this too much, people are going to low parry. So you can do stuff like this to mix them up, you know, go into back turn, or, you know, stuff like that. Let's see. No, she does not have an armor move from back turn. Somebody asked me that the other day, who doesn't play Chloe. No, she does not. That'd be cool. That'd be. Imagine if this was a. Oh, dude. Okay, never mind. Let's not get too crazy, right? That's too much. She also has this, which is the 3rd hit of this. Now, if it sets on counter hit, remember this is a counter hit launcher. You can also do finish.
So, you know, she also has this part of Scoot Stance, which is a low crush, you know, it's a counter hit launcher, so if they want to hit a down jab or something, you know, boom. That's pretty decent, honestly. I think it's pretty good, actually, like if they want a down jab here. That's also how you do a bear combo, so pretty decent. You do some funky stuff, I guess. I don't even know what that was. Anyways, I think that's it for this back turn mumbo jumbo. I think I talked about, honestly, I think I might have talked about every option that comes out of it. Oh yeah, she also has, no, I think that's it. I think that's it at a back turn. If I'm forgetting anything, let me know, but I definitely brought up everything that's useful. As far as everything goes, I might have covered everything, honestly. I might have covered everything that I wanted to cover, and about 2 hours I've been sitting here? I might have covered everything. This is the ultimate guide to Chloe. I am Young P, and I think now we're going to go to unique situations and moves and setups, etc. that I want to talk about in combos. That's really what I want to talk about now. So what I was talking about was I wanted to show you guys something very, very unique, I guess. Not a lot of people know about this. So I'm going to go to the wall, and then I want to, well, I'll show you the first part. So this is hitting Chloe Discord tech. If you are at the wall, and you could be from here, you could be from here, you just have to be where they're really close. They have to be like right there, you know. This situation happens a lot where you have them at the wall. Your throws have special properties with back one. If you throw Chloe, if you back one here, since she got up straight, she actually did block it. But let's just say she does a standing guard, right? Let me try it again. She does a standing guard. She gets hit, right? The only way to negate this from happening, so this wall splat is going to happen every time, and you can get a full combo or whatever. The only way to stop this from happening is if you hold up when you get up. Nobody ever holds up when they get up from the ground, so, you know, why would you? If they stay on the ground, they get hit by back one. If they get up by holding back, they get wall splatted. However, if you saw right there, it did whiff, so you have to be very close to the wall. However, this is some hidden Discord tech that I discovered a long time ago, and it's really... A lot of people don't know about this. I've only found one person online that knew how to deal with this. One person out of the year or so I've been playing this character, so just goes to show how unknown this is still. But yeah, that's guaranteed unless you hold up and then block, because holding up is faster than holding back. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty good. And same thing applies to this throw. If you are right here and you do the same thing, same properties apply. They have to hold up. So pretty good, man. I mean, this is going to lead to a lot of damage if they don't know how to deal with this. I know I'm kind of giving away all our Chloe Discord tech, but I mean, you know, that's quite a fancy one that I wanted to show you guys. Her command grab doesn't do anything like that, but, you know, her regular grabs do. So just keep that in mind when you're using her grabs against the wall. I think that's a very viable strategy and very cool setup. Now, let's talk, what other, I guess, setups? So that's their grabs, pretty much. So I wanted to talk about this move in general. So this is 3+4, 3. I didn't bring this move up in the video because it's really only used in combos. There's no point in using it in the neutral. What it is it is a mid-mid, or you can make it, excuse me, a mid-low. This mid-low is not safe. I actually do not know how negative it is. Holy smokes! Holy smokes! As you can see, if you get hit by the first part, it is natural, whatever comes next. But -11, right? Yeah, it's not that bad. No, that's not -11. It's more than that, right? No, I think it's like minus... Yeah, it's -11, but you could low parry it, so I mean, that's what you want to do. The mix-up, I guess, if you want to, you're not supposed to use it, but she does have a mid-mid. So let's talk about this for a second. This is a known thing. You use this a lot for combo enders. This string, this second part, hits them to the ground. Do you see that spike? So when they get hit by that, I don't want to record. When they get hit by this spike, they have two options that they can do. They can stay on the ground or they can get up. Chloe has a 50-50 for this. If they want to get up, standing 4 will hit them on their way up. Now sometimes it does whiff like that on smaller characters like Chloe. Unfortunately, that's just how it works. So kind of sucks, but if you're close enough, oh man, that really does not work on Chloe. Doesn't really work on smaller characters. I don't think this really works well on Ling or Chloe or anything smaller than that, or small like that, but any other character it works. But basically, if they want to get up, this will hit them. And if they want to stay on the ground, then back one will flop them up. So that's pretty much how that works. I mean, there's not much else to it. She's holding standing guard right now, but if she were to not, you know, if she were to stay on the floor, because she thought this was going to come and she was a other character, then back one would hit her on the floor. So that's how that works. But recently, people have been starting to figure out that you don't even have to deal with this 50-50, because in the middle of this string, you can actually just mash spring kick, and you don't have to deal with it. See, I didn't get hard splat right there. That's a hard splat. Hold on. That's a hard splat, and then that's not a hard splat. She can't mix me up. See the difference? So if I mash 3+4 in the middle of these two hits, I didn't get it right there. If I mash 3+4 here, which is kind of tricky. Damn, that's actually kind of tricky. See right there. So now I don't have to deal with the mix-up. So that's how you deal with that. That used to be like the go-to tech, because you just get extra damage. So it's like you just go for 4 every time, and if it hits, it hits. It doesn't, it doesn't. But now people know how to deal with it. So you don't really do that anymore, you know. I guess I'll go over, before I go to combos, I just kind of wanted to go over strategies with some of these moves. Some of the things I like to do is I like to do a lot of down forward 1, side step 4, a lot of down forward 1, because a lot of people like to retaliate after a down forward 1. So down forward 1, side step 4, if they want to retaliate with buttons, they'll probably get hit by that and they'll get a big juicy counter hit combo. Now, if they see this coming, it can be kind of choreographed if you want to do a down forward 1 side step, so you don't always have to do that, you can just back off. However, if they really think this sidestep forward is coming, because when they see a sidestep, they think that most good players know that this move is coming, so they want to block it. So you can always do sidestep back 4 for a safe option that's going to give you really plus frames, and if they hit a button, very plus frames, a lot of plus frames, sorry. And if they hit a button, then you're going to get a counter hit combo. You know, it's a safe mid throw. Of course, you can go for down forward 2 in this string. You can just go for down forward 2. You can go for a hop kick. However, I think that mixing this up, this is a basic starting point on how to get better at this character. Just basic stuff like this. Basic mix-up right here. You know, you don't always want to do down forward 1 in a side step, because then it becomes too choreographed. But that is just one strategy that you can do. More strategies that I talked about is like stuff like, you know, 1-2, if they think the ender's coming, you can go up and force a mix-up. You know, you can make them think twice about what they're going to do. One thing that I like to do, I mean, also another technique that you need to learn if you want to get really good at this character is instant wall running 3. I think that Chloe instant wall running 3 is really important to learn, because this is a good move to spam, especially at the wall. I think a lot of good Chloe players know how to abuse that. It's really good. It's a good move to abuse. You don't really want to do it too often, like 2 in a row like that. Just learn how to do it, because if you master wall running 3, you could do it from like right here, you know, and it's really good. That's instant +6. If they did block low, then you're instantly going to wall splat them and you can get a juicy combo. So master this wall running 3. I'm not going to do it here because I don't really want to go over how to do instant wall running 3s, but just Google it. I'm sure there's videos online about it. I can't really think of much. I mean, I'm trying to think of other situations of strategies, etc., or unique things that I want to point out. This is a good move to bait out moves, like if they want to hit a button after this, since it is a button that looks like you're really negative and it has so much pushback. If they whiff something, they can go for a whiff punish. What I recommend doing after a 4-4-3 is I recommend taking one backdash and seeing what they're going to do. If they whiff, perfect range for a whiff punish. If they want to hit buttons, you know, you have two options. I mean, you can go for a whiff punish here, back up and do it, or you can immediately go for a power crush if you really think that they're going to hit buttons. So you have a few options there, and you don't even have to do that. You could just back up or, you know, do whatever. After a side step 4, you always have to be careful of them hitting those mids that get you out of your Cali roll. So condition them with stuff like this so they really know not to hit buttons after this. Also be careful with this move because, yeah, you can control space with it, but if you get too telegraphed with this move, they're going to see it. And it's not that hard to see because it comes out of a side step, so just be careful. Here's some hop kick setups I want to show you. So I want to show you some juicy hop kick setups. This is the most common. I think this is a really, it's not really good, but I mean, if you really think you want to do this, you can go ahead and try. But hold on. So let's see if she can do it for me. Bomb bomb. You know, it still crushes highs. Oh wait, hold on. Actually, it wasn't on block, so it's not going to act the same, actually. I forgot this game does that. But after this part right here, if you immediately hop kick, it's going to, you know, your hop kick is going to apply the same principles as it always does. I don't think it's working right now because... Okay, there you go. Actually, I take it back. So that's what I'm talking about. Anytime you think your opponent really wants to hit a jab or retaliate back with you with something that's not a mid, I would recommend that if you really want to do it and you have that hard read, you have to do it sometimes because you can't always play super safe. You're playing Chloe. You have to take risks sometimes and get those big reads, and they'll pay off. This is a lot of damage. I recommend going for a hop kick because it's not like random, but like after down forward 1, you think they're going to jab back, hop kick. Of course, you can just, you know, block it or, you know, sidestep it or down jab. But if you want a high risk option, higher hop kick is always there to crush that high for you. Like I said, establish that you're going to hit buttons after this move so that when they stop hitting buttons, you can use your more heavier mix-up tools, low-mid tools out of this. Don't spam this all the time. Like I said, remember, keep this to a bare... Don't overuse this move because it's too dangerous to do that. If they are not ducking it and if they really don't know how to deal with this, then by all means. But a high-level play, it's not going to fly. One move I also didn't talk about is this. This is up forward, 3+4. It's really slow. It's really linear. It goes into her down back 3, and it also goes into her forward 3, you know, that third part of scoot stance. So there's that. I mean, I just thought I'd bring it out. It kind of sucks, but whatever. Some setups actually. So here are some setups. So I didn't talk about combos yet. I'll talk about staple combos in a second, but I want to bring out some setups that you can actually do. So this is actually a very common setup. This is after you get your combo out, you're going to do forward, forward, 4, 3, forward, forward, 4, 3+4, and you're deliberately going to do it early and mess up. So you're halfway across the screen. You're deliberately going to whiff. Like I could actually hit this if I wanted to, right? I can probably barely hit it. But you don't want it to hit. You want it to whiff because then when they tech roll, you'll be right behind them and you can get a Cali roll setup. So if everything goes to plan, you're behind them and then they try to retaliate and you Cali roll them. This is a classic setup. Very classic, very classic. Same thing applies if you do, I've seen myself do this actually at times, or I've done like a, hold on, you do like, this isn't as useful, but you can do stuff like this where you do like a, boom, boom, and then you're behind their back sometimes. Not really reliable. I would say that first one is much more reliable, but there's not as much setups as I would like. There's always this stuff, that cheese stuff. Like anytime you throw a move and go into back turn, you can always Cali roll, but you know, just be careful. Be smart about your decisions with this character. I say that with a trying with a straight face, but you know, I know it can be very easy to go all unga bunga, me hit button, you know, and then all this stuff. But I mean, you have to sometimes, but you can play very solid with this character and then bring out a lot of the gimmicks, and that's how you get to higher ranks. You know, you can't just, because if they know about your gimmicks, and this is what makes this character really bad. This is why this character is so bad. Let me explain that now in more depth. Once they know the gimmicks, then it's impossible really to. Because think about it, if I was a player, right, now that I've explained all the moves to you, if I was a player that knew about this stuff, I knew about this stuff, I know about this stuff, I know about the hop kick setups after down forward 1, I know about like you're gonna Cali roll after this, so I probably shouldn't hit a button there, and I'm not, and I know how to deal with this. What do I really have to fear? Nothing. You have nothing. I have nothing to fear. Because all the Chloe player can do, if I can't use those moves, I'm just gonna spam down forward 1, I guess, all day, and maybe you hope to get a hop kick, and if it doesn't work, I get, you know, launched and spam, you know, try to make something work with this low. I mean, try to hit him with my really crappy grabs. You know, it's just really hard. It's very hard. So that's why this character is very bad. If the player knows how to beat this character, then he's just gonna beat you, right? I mean, you could still win, but it's very, very hard. If you know how to fight against a Devil Jin, it's still Devil Jin. He's still very good. There's no, you know, there's no stopping that. But if you know how to beat Chloe, it's like then you know all the secrets, you know all the gimmicks. So there's not a lot left for her to do. So I know you guys get what I'm saying. This character's just not very good in that regard. However, if you're playing in a tournament and they don't know how to fight Chloe, then it's pretty much free. If they don't know how to fight this character, then they pretty much just die. You know, so let's get on to the combos. So for combos, there are 3 combos I want to talk about. Let's go with the most standard combo, right? This is the combo that you're going to use most often for wall carry. Actually, this is the combo that you're going to use for pretty much everything after our regular launch. So let me actually put her wall current position. All right. So after a hop kick, down forward 1, and you're going to do this string. All right. That is the staple of every Chloe combo, pretty much. Down forward 1 into oops, default. Down forward 1 into the down forward 2 4 3 1 string. This is why I was saying you really need to practice doing this consistently, because you're going to use it a lot in combos. If you do not want to do this, you can always do this. However, this is not going to do as much damage anymore because they nerfed the damage on down forward 1 in the air. So do this. Practice doing this. You need to do this. If you want to get good at this character, it's not hard. Just practice that double tapping I was talking about. You guys got it in the bag. What else? So that's the staple filler. So you're going to do this and then into bound. And now that you did the bound, you have 3 enders that you want to do. All right. For wall carry, what you're going to do is you're going to do forward 2 1 plus 2. Boom, boom, boom. You get a wall carry. Decent damage. If you want max damage, you're going to do forward, 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 4, 3 plus 4, 4. That hit the wall, but if it didn't hit the wall, it would still hit. That is the max damage. Sometimes it drops because it's kind of hard to hit, I'm not going to lie. But it hits. You have to hit it deep, though. If you don't hit it deep, the last part's not going to hit of the forward, 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 3 plus 4, 4. Like if you hit it from there, that last part probably wouldn't hit if it was a wall stage. So you have to hit this very deep. Like that'll hit 100%. But that's max damage without a wall. So if you're heading towards a wall, you do not want to do that ender, because then you're not going to get a wall combo unless you do that, which it's hard to get a wall combo that way. So just do this. Third option is what I was talking about, our Okizeme ender, which can be beaten with a spring roll. Or no, I think it's called a spring roll, right? Not the Vietnamese ones. So if they do not do that, you get an Oki setup, though, like we talked about, the 4 and the back 1 setup. And that's your 3 combo enders. If you are really, 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 really far, which is barely ever, you can do that, I guess, if you want an ender, which you don't really want to do ever. But sometimes you're really, really far away. I don't know, some bootleg combos, but you got to do that sometimes. And that actually does put them on the wall, so it's not that bad as an ender. So for sides, let me go over all her counter hit combos. By the way, this combo that I was talking about works on every launcher. It works on a down forward 2. It works on her hop kick. It works on her stubby hop kick. It works on her this, you know. And the reason I want you to practice doing this is because let's say you get a sidestep down forward 2 in. If you try to do a lot of combo, like let's say if you go for a hop kick here, like a sidestep hop kick, you're gonna get some bootleg combo, right? Or if I try to go from the side. Or no. Actually, you know what? This is I don't want you to ever do this. This used to be a season 1 thing where you could do this down forward 1, back 4, down forward 1, and it would be the same damage as the down forward 2 combo. It's not like that anymore, so it doesn't really matter. Just know that down forward 2, 4, 3, 1 is consistent on all angles on every character, pretty much, to my knowledge. So if you're hitting this in the air or not, it's gonna hit. It's very consistent. Sometimes it does drop, but it's very consistent. So as for counter hit combos, sidestep 4, this is the combo you are going to do. And then into your, actually that one didn't really connect. So you're going to do forward 3 plus 4, 3 plus 4, 1, 2, 1 plus 2. It's not working for some reason. Maybe it doesn't work too much on Chloe. Actually, it's probably the angle. It does work on Chloe. It's just the angle. Sometimes if you hit sidestep 4 from an odd angle, it does that, but I know it hits. Yeah, there we go. And then you can hit with a 4, 2, 1 there, because 4, 2, 1 plus 2 will not work. You can also end with this, of course, every time. Forward, 4, 3 plus 4, 4. This ender only really works if you're doing like a standard combo. If you're doing like a Cali roll, anything with a Cali roll in it, you cannot really get, what's it called? 4, 4, 3 plus 4, 4. Only with standard combos can you land that, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. So yeah, an easier method to do this is just to do this, and then you could do that. That's pretty easy. That's the easier method, but I think if you really want max damage and it's not too hard, you just do this. Cali roll, 1, 2, 1 plus 2. Oops. This, Cali roll, 1, 2, 1 plus 2. But you have to do it fast. That's why it's like inconsistent. That's the only reason, is because it's kind of strict on when you have to hit this 1, 2, 1 plus 2. But it's doable, man. I do it like a lot, so online. So, but apparently not tonight. So sometimes you can't hit it. Just go for down 3, 4, 3, 3. Back turn 4 or back 4. You want to do this again. You can do 1, 2, 1 plus 2, or you can do down 4, 3, 3 after the Cali roll. Let's see. After this, you can do Cali roll. I really hate this move though, so I don't really care what combo you do here because I don't advocate this move. But you just do the Cali roll combo. Let's talk about like, so these specific moves on count. Actually, no, let's keep going with our combos. I don't know if I covered everything yet. Let me think. Because every launcher you can just do this, and you know, into 4, 2, 1 plus 2 are your ender of choice. Because like you can hit from even this angle and you can still do this. That's how consistent it is. However, from side angles you can only get 4, 2, 1, because if you try to do 4, 2, 1 plus 2 at a side angle, this is what you're gonna get. You know, it's gonna whiff. So always know that this is one hit and it'll be more consistent than the 4, 2, 1 plus 2. I think that's it for combos, though. Honestly, I just wanted to explain them because, I don't know, notation's nice, but it's nice when you can just visually see them, you know? It's a different way to approach combos. I don't think a lot of people do. Maybe it's not as good, I don't know, but you can get mini combos after these moves. Back 2, you get wall standing 3. You also have enough time to do back 1, but you get less damage, so don't do that. Do back 2 into that. Of course, this also applies to 1, 2, 2. And let's see, back turn 3 plus 4 on normal and counter hit. You also get a wall standing 3. On down this, you get a back 1 on normal hit and on counter hit. Boom. Let me think. What else is there? I think there's also. Oh yeah, there's also this move, the counter hit 1 plus 2. I think the best thing to do here is this. Actually, no, it's just this is actually a weird one. I don't usually hit this. When I do, I just do that. But that's not max damage. You can actually do like I don't think that's max damage either. 48. Actually, it might be max damage. You can just do this. This might be max damage actually. You just don't really hit this. I usually just do this, into this. But I think the most optimal combo would be to go for this. Because she doesn't really have a filler that you can use and then go for this if you already used your corkscrew. So let me think of what else. There's not much other counter hidden moves, I don't think. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, for floor break, of course, like I said, you have this as a floor break ender. You can also do 4, 2, 2. That'll floor break. All right. I think that solves it for our regular combos. Let's talk about wall combos now, because I know wall combos can be daunting, but these are pretty easy. So very easy, very simple. You get a wall splat, 1, down forward 1, back 1. That used to be it, but now it's 1, down forward 1, because that does more damage. That's pretty much it. That's the only ever wall combo you're really going to use, unless you happen to hit a back 3 at the wall. Then you're going to do the Cali roll. So, you know, that's it. 1, down forward 1, 3, 4. If you happen to get a wall splat when they're really low to the wall, then you're only going to do down forward 1, 3, 4. Like, let's say I hit them and they're really low. I can't hit that jab, but I can still hit down forward 1, 3, 4. So there's no reason to use back 1 as an ender anymore because it does less damage and you get the same Oki anyways. So this is your go-to. That's pretty. I mean, that's the only wall combo you're ever going to use. I mean, that's just it. This is it. You can get kind of funky and do some stuff like this and go back turn, but if they tech roll here, this whiffs. Like I would experiment with that if I were you, but I didn't find much doing it myself. I didn't, you know, because every option after they tech roll whiffs, so I'm not really fond of that. So just go for that. Now let's talk about meaties. So after this, right, they're going to get up off the floor, right? They're going to they're going to tech roll. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to do this, bomb, 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 and then they're going to tech roll, right? So this is where you can put them in a 50-50 situation where they have to guess what you're going to do, a low or mid. So that's what we're going to do here. I would suggest doing these moves, forward 4 and holding back. This is a good strategy. It's a mid. If they get hit by it, they're in crouch. If they don't, they are, you know, they're still going to take a back turn mix-up because they have to think about what you're going to do, right? You can do 2 of them. I think forward 4, the whole gimmick string. Because the problem with this move is it's so hard to hit because it's so linear and it's so stubby. But at the wall, as a meaty, there's nothing they can do but take this. So you can mix them up. You can go for something like that. You know, you can go for like a onto that. You can, you know, do this and do a tracking move. I think that's a good mid-meaty. And then if you really think it's going to hit, you can just let the string go and you can get a full combo. You know, you can do this as a meaty and then that's a natural, and you get the calorie roll combo. So, pretty good. Another meaty you can go for is you can go for like back 2. I think that's pretty decent. Let's see. Down back 2 is always good here. Or down back 3, I mean. Back 3 is always pretty good. Good too. You don't even need to move. You can just do it. You could always throw. There's just, I suggest mixing your opponents up here. Also, that's also very good here is sidestep 4. Sidestep 4 is pretty good here. So those are my meaty suggestions for wall combos, and those are pretty much all the combos I want to cover. And honestly, that might be it for my guide. I think that I'm going to try to wrap it up here. Alright guys, so here we have some footage after the credits. I actually was recording, and some of the footage that I wanted to put in the video got corrupted because my SD card, or whatever you call it, my hard drive filled up. So I didn't talk about throws. So let's just do that real quick. Now that I've been working on this for like 11 hours plus, let's talk about it. Throws. She doesn't have any special throws. She just has a 1+2, and her Oki off for regular throws is pretty much non-existent. You can go in for a wall running 3, but it can be sidestepped, and a lot of Chloe players like to do this. I like to go in for a wall running 3. That's not real. You can just sidestep or sidewalk. Same thing applies to this throw. You know, I mean, you could just sidewalk. If Chloe tries to go in for a wall running 3 here, you know, just sidewalk it. Honestly, you got to be deep to do it anyways. For her command throw, I know a lot of people are really questioning how this works. Pretty much, it's a 1+2 break, and if you want guaranteed damage from this, you're gonna do down forward 3-3. This is guaranteed. Yeah, it's 30 damage, but I mean, this character sucks. What do you expect? I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This does no damage, but you get a 50-50 mix-up, and I'll show you how that works. So, if you want guaranteed damage, down forward 3-3. Okay. All right, works every time. Also, we're gonna talk about the real mix-up now. Man, I'm tired. Sorry, I've been working on this guide for a long time, guys. Let's keep it professional, though. All right, so we're gonna do these 2 things, and then we're gonna do this. This is the 50-50 I was talking about. Chloe has a 50-50 where if I want to hold back, then 1-2 1+2 is guaranteed. Right? So that's how that works. If I hold back, 1+2, 1-2 1+2 is guaranteed. To beat that, what I have to do is I have to hold down back all the way and duck the whole string. So that's how that works. I have to hold down back all the way. I'll get hit by the mid, but I can duck the second part and launch it. Now, if I hold down back against down forward 2, then I get launched. So it's a 50-50, right? Because if I hold back against the down forward 2, then I just block it, and then I can punish it. So that's it. That's pretty much all it does is 50-50. It's risky for her, but she's heavily rewarded if she does get the right off. If she gets this right, I would say that you probably want to hold. You probably want to hold down back most of the time because 1-2 1+2 also has a guaranteed follow up with back 1, which does a lot more damage than this combo. But they both do a lot of damage, so it's a 50-50. Also, I did not talk about. Wow. I didn't want to leave this. I needed to make this the ultimate guide, so I didn't want to miss anything. So I'm actually gonna. I got to talk about this now. Let's get into it, boys. I don't want to leave anything out. This is the ultimate Chloe guide. Player rage, her rage drives, and her rage art. But this is also some more secret tech. Some more secret tech. So if you do command grab, it's another 50-50 between your rage drive, which can hit on the rear, the whole thing, and get the ender, and your rage art. So how does this work? All right, I'm going to show you how to beat both. I'm going to show you what is going on with that. So if I grab, oh, I have to have the dummy have rage. Whoops. All right, so record action. pretty much how all this is if I command grab and I do Rage Art, right, it's a low. So, oh crap. So in order to, I just have to guess, it's another 50-50. I have to hold down back right here to successfully block this, or evade per se, this Rage Art, right? To evade it. Now, if I were to do command grab, Rage Drive, that would be a different story, right? Because it would be a mid, not a low. So it's a lot different. So if I were to hold down back and try to look for the Rage Art, now look what happens. I get hit by the Rage Drive, right? So in order to beat the Rage Drive, you just hold back. But, yes, I know you already see where this is going. If I hold back, I get hit by the Rage Art. So it's a 50-50. It's just like the command grab usually is, but it's a 50-50 this time. So it's pretty cheesy. Like I said, man, this character, you guys, this character is just all cheese. I didn't say that, but it's just, this character's crazy, man. I don't know. There's still like, this character sucks, dude. This character sucks, man. Anyways, let's talk about her Rage Drive in general. It's a 3-hit Rage Drive. If you hit the first part, yikes. The whole thing is a natural. So that's cool. You can do this little dance here, and if you mash 1+2, you get the ender, which actually, cool beans information gives you a wall splat. So you can go, actually I think you might have to be closer than that, but it does give you wall splat. I know it does. Okay, so wall splat, pretty good. Pretty good, yeah, I would say that's pretty good. So actually, there's actually something cool you can do with this. After this third hit here, you can actually go back turn, and you can do this combo, which I'm going to show you. This is a forgotten combo that I didn't cover because I didn't cover her Rage Drive. And that's all it is. Your ender would be 4-2, 1+2 there. You can't do Scoot Stance ender, but you can do this ender. So that's what I recommend doing for that. There might be a better combo for this, but I'm maybe like something with this. Nah, you can't do that. You can't do that. I think my combo was the best combo. But that's that. As far as, so pretty much the plus frames, I believe she's +7 or 6 on this. And you can't sidestep any of those hits. Once you block the first one, you automatically block all the other ones. So, I mean, you know, it jails. So if they really want to mash, which they're not, you can't. So, I mean, you know. Also, if you don't hit with the Rage Drive, you see that last part where she dances? She won't do that. And yes, it does gel. She only does it if she hits it. So, you know, kind of cool, I guess. But there's one thing that you can do with this, and that is that she can go back turn. And then she can do a Cali roll, or, you know, do a fancy combo, or, you know, whatever you want to do, right? But she's not plus when she goes back turn, so, I mean, you can kind of just, you're in full crouch, but, I mean, she's in back turn, so she doesn't, I don't know, I wouldn't really recommend going back turn because I believe you're like minus, so not the most effective. I would only really go back turn if you hit it. If you don't hit it, then don't go back turn because you're not plus, you're at a disadvantage. But if you do hit it on block and you don't go back turn, then you're like +7. So that's it with the Rage Drive. It's pretty interesting. You could actually use it in combos. Like that, I guess, if you want to, but I wouldn't really do it. It's kind of dumb. I haven't found really anything good with it, and you know, doesn't make a lot of sense to do it. So what else? Oh yeah, Rage Art. The only low Rage Art in the game, I believe. You know how you can double tap down for a 2-4-3-1? You can't do this with a Rage Art. I've tried it. You can't do it. Okay, I actually just did it, so I take it back. You actually can double tap her whole Rage Art. So that technique we talked about before, double tapping, you can actually double tap the whole thing. I actually did not know that. However, you can, it's pretty easy. People say it's a just frame, but it really isn't. You get like 3 or 2 frames to hit every single letter. So, you know, it's not hard to hit. Not really. And it does a lot of damage. Really, the less health you have, and if you hit every single just frame, this does the most damage out of any Rage Drive or Rage Art in the game. Just hit it the whole thing and you'll be good to go. But that's pretty much it. Those are the things I missed. I don't think I missed anything else. I know I missed these things for sure though. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this part of the guide. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed my guide. I tried to cover almost everything that I can think of with the character. I really have been playing this character for a long time, or generally a long time. It's been too long, but I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. If you have any suggestions, feedback, or whatever, just let me know in the comments. Let me know if you actually watched this whole video. I put a lot of time and effort into this, so I hope you guys will like it. I've been working on this since 11 in the morning, and it's now 9 p.m. So it's been quite a while, but I'm putting in that work because I really want this video to be good. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave any feedback or whatever. Remember to follow me on Twitch and Twitter. My Twitch is YoungPTK. No, my Twitch is YUNG_P. My Twitch, or my Twitter, is YUNGPTK. What? No. Oh, God, I don't even remember my own Twitter. Hold on. I'll put it on the screen. I'll put it on the screen, okay? Now you know what it is. So check me out on these things because I really stream on there all the time and I go on Twitter all the time, so I would really appreciate it. So I'm going to go throw this thing together, and I hope you guys like my ultimate guide to Lucky Chloe. Please leave any tech or anything like that in the comments. I would love to read it. If you need any help, let me know. And that's going to be it for me. Okay, thanks for watching, guys.